and gentlemen.
Hey! What's up, everybody? Did I wake you up from your post-Thanksgiving stupor? Yes, welcome. Thanks so much for joining us here on this lovely Friday morning. Hope you all had the awesomest of awesomest Thanksgivings. No better way to say Thanksgiving is over and it's time to get ready for Christmas than Hans Gruber. A little Hans Gruber quote there from Die Hard, a Christmas movie. I don't care what you say. That's a goddamn Christmas movie. So excited to have you all joining us here on this Friday morning. We got a great crew to hang out with today to entertain you and bring you some love. And then in the second hour, we'll be bringing in our favorite guy, Mark Ellis. He's coming in to talk about the Washington football team's victory over those pesky Dallas Cowboys and so much more. But for right now, let's introduce everybody who is joining me here on the show. First and foremost, the lovely and talented Sabrina Ramirez. How are you, Sabrina?
Hi guys, doing great. Happy to be here with Ryan for the first time.
Oh yeah. Happy to meet you. Yeah, we met right before the show got started, and
I didn't know that. Right, I never know who knows anybody in this sphere because there's so many moving parts. But it's great to have you both on the show. Brett Sheridan, how are you? Looking for a Roomba over there? What's going on?
God, you know what, guys? That's my age. I'm like, we need to get a Roomba for good Black Friday Roomba.
And if anybody is watching who works for Roomba or knows about these Roombas, send Brett Sheridan a top-of-the-line Roomba. That's what he needs, a top-of-the-line Roomba. Alex Marzoña getting freaky over there. How are you, Alex?
Heck yeah, I got my Babu shirt on. The real Lord and Savior of the Star Wars universe. So.
Oh, whoa.
He's forgiven.
Strong statements. And Ryan Nilsen holding it down for us. Thanks, Ryan, for getting up and hanging out with us today. Excited to have you on the show.
You got it, you guys. And I know there's never a formal dress code, and I hope it doesn't look like I'm dressing down. This is a Baby Yoda sweatshirt.
Nice.
Yes.
Custom made. Nice. Etsy. Check it out. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy belated.
Seems a bit big, though, isn't it? It's a little loose.
It's a little
on you,
puffy.
Buddy.
It's a little
bit.
bit.
I had your problem.
That's an Etsy thing.
The puffier, the better. Look at this.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Reminds me of a hit song by Alex Marzoña, an oversized T-shirt.
Oh,
Get it on Spotify right now.
$20.
Oh,
The
thank you,
fucking
Tim.
Kurosawa vibes in that episode. Dave Filoni, that motherfucker, does it again. Give him a live-action Disney series to showrun and a slate of films to write and direct, you cowards at Disney. As Ryan proclaimed, holy bleep.
Holy bleep.
Yeah, Holy Bleep is correct. Thank you, Tim, for already getting us banned with that many cuss words right off the bat. So we'll be a limited availability for our ads. Thank you, Tim. Much love. Thanks for the $20. And yes, we will get into the non-spoiler review of The Mandalorian. Did Christian do a spoiler review with Kalinowski this morning? Okay, so there is a spoiler review available if you want to watch that after you're done watching us here on SEN Live. Kalinowski in his post-Thanksgiving stupor, and Christian Harloff there after visiting the beach talking about The Mandalorian. Everyone is raving about it. Everyone is going nuts about it on Twitter. And we're going to get into a non-spoiler review and talk about some entertainment news as well. But please always remember, Streamlabs, Super Chat, SCHMOEDOWN, as Tim just showed us, those are the things that keep us alive here on the channel, keep us going, keep us coming back every day. So please, let's have a great Friday to send us into a fun weekend as we go through this Thanksgiving holiday and start to hear the faint sounds of Christmas music in the background coming in and invading our lives again and trying to lift up our spirits all the way up until December 25th. All right. This is a non-spoiler review. We might as well get into it first, Ryan and Sabrina, Brett, and Alex. So if you don't want anything spoiled, I guess just kind of turn it down for a little bit. But we are going to do our best not to spoil anything. Very, very difficult to do with an episode like this that dropped all kinds of insane bombs throughout the episode about what may be coming this season and possibly outside of this season for the Mandalorian and the Star Wars universe. Ryan, you're the one that's going nuts. Let's go to you first.
I've been losing it all morning.
Yeah, right. Let's talk about what was your overall feeling about this. Remember, non-spoiler. What's your overall feeling about this episode? What really stood out for you?
It's just satisfaction, quite frankly, and that is a word that we don't get to use, or we haven't used, I think, with Star Wars too much, like, as of late, especially with a lot of the films for the wide audience. And this was not only like a massive amount of satisfaction, but I also just got excited for other people, because for some, this episode was a climactic moment or a culmination of many years. And then for others, it's just the start of a journey with some characters. And I just could not be more happy with how this kind of played out. I'm thrilled. This is an episode I'm going to rewatch for probably the rest of my life. I think this is just a really great. It's so good, and I tweeted just a reaction, and it's just glean. I could not be more happy, and I wasn't really worried for a second.
Yeah, I mean, this one was written and directed by Dave Filoni, who, of course, created the character of Ahsoka Tano, and it was teased that Ahsoka Tano was coming. Certainly last week's episode was kick-ass as well, Sabrina, but this one kind of maybe steals the entire series and connects up every trilogy we've seen already, as well as some of the animated series. So what was your overall reaction to this one?
Yeah, I absolutely love this one. I had my Thanksgiving dinner super late, and so I woke up at 1:30 in the morning because I fell asleep right afterwards and realized that Mandalorian came on. So I watched it at that time. It just completely energized me. I woke up from that nap disoriented immediately from the start of this one. I was hooked into it. It was incredible. It ties up so much. It references, and there's so many nods. I feel like fans would just absolutely love this episode, and that's kind of something that we're seeing on social media right now. We're seeing everyone praising this one, and Dave Filoni absolutely killed it, from the choreography of just even with all of the action sequences. It was something stunning. The way he kind of directed any of those fight sequences didn't really show us a lot of violence. I loved all those aspects with it.
Yeah. Brett Sheridan, this is one you've seen once.
Yes.
And you're not one of these guys that's going to watch it necessarily 3 or 4 times back to back to back. You like to savor it, then maybe come around to it again. Overall, what was your feeling about this one? And did you enjoy some of the things some of the knowledge that was dropped, some of the lore, some of the names that were dropped in this thing?
Well, we talked before the show. There was a name that I thought was like, oh, okay. But anyway, the biggest blessing, Thanksgiving blessing, was that the kids didn't have school, so we all, as a family, sat down and watched this one without kind of having to scramble or get up super early. So I love that part. I love that this has become a family show for us. There are some, I think it's beginning to be a little inside sporty, but it's making me want to go back and watch, some of the other, like the Clone Wars and things like that. I think that's going to get people to go seek out these other Star Wars related programs. But other than that, I think then I'm having a lot of fun with my son lately at different Star Wars isms. Like last week we were talking about how like the buttons are just all white and red and none of them are labeled, and like how do people know which buttons to touch? It's just like, they're click, nothing. And the other one is like, you're going to go to a planet named Flarn and meet somebody named Blurp. This being will take you to that which you seek. Like you just tell me the planet. Not could you give me like one coordinate maybe, like a little village within the planet? But a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it, and happy to have the family enjoy it with me.
Yeah. You look at this one. I go to you now, Alex. Alex, there's some interesting things here. Just a real quick, synopsis of the episode. We get that character is being teased right off the bat. Then Din Djarin shows up on Corvu, specifically going to the town of Caldano, meets this magistrate who is her number one right-hand man is Michael Biehn. For those of us who grew up in the 80s, Michael Biehn has special significance and meaning.
He was a loose cannon on the abyss, wasn't he?
He had that.
Oh, brother.
He had that seasickness or whatever it was called. He got the bends. But yeah, and the magistrate hires the Mandalorian to go after Ahsoka Tano, which is that character. And then I don't think that's a spoiler, to be honest. Everyone's talking about it. And then they have their interaction, and then we get a big old battle at the end and some things that are revealed. Real quick, Alex, this is so interesting. Diana Lee Inosanto plays that character of Morgan Elsbeth. She is the goddaughter of Bruce Lee, and she is the daughter of Dan Inosanto, who is a Filipino-American martial arts icon and Bruce Lee's protege and training partner. And her dad is an authority on Jeet Kune Do. And here's one more thing to throw into it. She got into acting as a choreographer and actress because she showed some moves to the stunt coordinator of Barbed Wire and then put her in a scene to fight Tamora Morrison, who plays who? Possibly Boba Fett this season on Mandalorian. So the wheels within wheels within wheels of this episode, beyond what we already saw, is pretty amazing. What was your reaction to all of this? And then seeing someone like with the Filipino connection and Filipino heritage be such an integral part of this episode.
Yeah, that was real. I saw the name in the credits, like Inosanto, and that sounds very familiar. And now that you were putting all that together for me, I was like, oh, okay, that makes so much sense. I feel like one of my cousins has trained under Inosanto, Dan Inosanto as well.
Wow.
Because my brother and cousin are also very involved with the Eskrima community. Cool. So that's why I recognize that name. But anyways, I thought, yeah, her... what she does in the episode is very cool. I'm glad she was in it. And of course it's great to see representation in the universe. I know we had a Filipino guy last season in The Mandalorian. I forgot which episode it was, but yay! That means I have a chance. And yeah, it was cool seeing Michael Biehn in it as well. I saw that his name is kind of could it be a reference to like a favorite of James Cameron's? Actors?
Oh, maybe Lang. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
But yeah, I just thought every single choice they make with this, that Dave Filoni made with this episode, is just freaking cool.
Yeah.
Like, he did it with so much style, and like they give like these names they drop like so much gravity that like I'm glad that Brett and I'm sure other newcomers, even more newcomers to the Star Wars universe will be interested in seeing Rebels and Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And
that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel that's a barometer.
Captain Kitten Tickles donated $30.
Thank you,
Finding out Baby Yoda is the love child between Rex and Ahsoka is the greatest twist in Star Wars history.
That was wow. I mean,
the clones can produce. Yeah, pretty incredible stuff. Yes, Rex and Ahsoka.
he's just a mutation that looks like Yoda. I mean, it's just what happens when you cross those.
And Tim Sim is right. Tim Sim, if you remove away the MF words of his post, Tim Sim is absolutely right. This one, and let's go back in time through the sands of time to last year when I got into so much trouble for a tweet I said about it being more samurai than Western, or there was a samurai. This one finally had the full-on Kurosawa samurai vibes, from the architecture to the music to the Japanese gardens to the way Morgan Elsbeth fought with the staff, hitting the staff on the ground, like the fight that happened at the end, the martial artists, all of it through this thing, very Kurosawa. Even the opening with her coming out of the fog in certain moments, that's Throne of Blood references. If you've seen Throne of Blood, there's very much that ending when they're facing each other feels very reminiscent to Yojimbo and Tatsuyuki Nakadaya going at each other in Yojimbo. So there's so much throughout this that has Japanese influences and Kurosawa influences. And remember, that was a lot of the influence for George Lucas to create Star Wars. The vibe of Star Wars has very much those samurai vibes to them. Hidden Fortress, essentially C-3PO and R2-D2 helping the princess, essentially Leia, in that movie. So there's a lot of influences here that Filoni and Favreau really dialed in. But you look at this episode, it felt like, and Christian and I were texting about it this morning, it felt like an episode of Clone Wars come to live action life. And no panel or no scene conveyed that more to me than the shot from far away of Ahsoka Tano and Baby Yoda conversing with the moonlight behind them. That shot was fucking excellent, just stellar. And I was shocked to see it. And Filoni, from his last episode last season, Gunslinger, to this one, it's like the Bryce Dallas Howard episode this season was so much better than hers last season. So pretty incredible stuff overall. Ryan, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's that improvement, right? It's listening to what worked in season 1, now in season 2. I think a good barometer, like we were mentioning, watching this with our families, and just people who might not be as familiar with some of the other shows or all the content, is seeing how much they got. And I was watching this with my parents for this episode, and they were picking up on a few things. They were interested in some backstories that it was alluding to. Yeah. So in my eyes, that's full on success for what this show can do. And and Christian talks about it a lot. This whole idea of pulling on things that are like inside baseball, and instead of making people feel excluded, it makes people feel more interested. And now they want to deep dive. Now they want to look back. And it's also not required to enjoy the episode. So it's more, the more you know, the more you might get out of it, but you're still going to get something out of it if you haven't seen all that stuff. It's full on success. It's such an improvement from season 1 in every facet. I'm going to print a photo out of Dave Filoni, put it on my mirror, and just high five it every morning because he makes me so happy. I'm digging this.
I love it. Alex, some people, or Sabrina, actually, I'll go to you. Some people have been saying that this is the trilogy they wanted to see in one episode. Do you feel that this series seems to be maybe kind of papering up some of the cracks that we'd seen from this series that wasn't 100, or this trilogy that wasn't 100% received as well as Disney and Star Wars would have hoped, or Lucasfilm?
Yeah, it's really great to see, like I said earlier, kind of all those nods really coming to life within this episode, and to kind of have Ahsoka Tano be that little through line that we're getting. I really do think that's kind of the credit she deserves. Especially, I wasn't aware of when she was introduced, how she got a lot of backlash. I saw people post that yesterday, so that's something I dove into a little bit at the time. And it's really crazy, but I'm happy that she's getting her dues now. People really are celebrating her. She's a beloved character, and she's kind of part of all of this and a really integral part of the journey.
Yeah, that's a great point you bring up. Yeah, and she still gets backlash. People still have an issue with Ahsoka Tano, which I think is so ridiculous. She's such a powerful character, such a cool character, and if anyone has a right to introduce a character into Star Wars and make her iconic, it is Dave Filoni. So to me, that's the people who go crazy about it and do videos about it. I respect your opinion. I just don't understand it because I love that character so much. Brett and Alex, what did you think about Rosario Dawson's performance? I mean, taking on a role like this is massive. Bringing on a role that's so beloved by so many people, especially as a female actress, stepping into this role, bringing it to life. What did you guys think about her performance?
Alex?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like she gets the voice pretty down. Like she had to emulate Ashley Eckstein's voice from Clone Wars and Rebels, and so I think she got that down. She gives it a lot of gravitas, just like because she is such a good and a great actor that has been working in Hollywood for so long, and just brings that to the role. And so I was really impressed, and hope that I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, without spoiling anything. Brett, what about you? Did you like what she did?
Again, yeah, I did. I don't have the reference. I do know that there were some that said that is it Ashley Eckstein? Is that what you said? Is that her name?
Yeah.
Who did the voice should have played the character. They felt like that was, a lot of people were disappointed with that. Right. But if what Alex is saying is right, she did do the justice, do the part justice. I thought she was amazing. I have no reference for what she should have sounded like, and I knew the look, and I think it looked really cool. So other than that, and I love her, so I couldn't be mad at anything she's done. So.
Yeah. Was there anything you guys didn't like? Was there anything as non-spoiler territory? Is there anything you felt you were disappointed by or didn't need?
I had a qualm.
Okay.
I had a qualm. I'm not gonna get too spoilerific with it, but there's just certain information that I think was learned last week by our main character that he did not divulge to a new character he met.
Okay.
And I felt like that was some huge details to not, I guess, include. And I'm really curious to see what some of these new characters would have thought of those details. It's really hard to talk about this, but that's all I'll say. Is I think I don't know why. Yeah.
Well, you got to have some mystery, even within the show. You got to have some mystery. But I take your point. How about anybody else? Anybody else have any issues? No.
I don't.
It lacked Babu Freak. That's the that's my only qualm with it.
Perfect if they added him in.
Yeah.
Then I would say the episode's flawless.
There you go. Baba Yoda, baby Yoda. Okay. I will say this: I do understand the actually Eckstein complaints. I totally respect that, and she's really built an incredible career out of doing that and all her voiceover work, and then her universe, which she's helped to build with that as well. But for me personally, as a Latino, having a scene with Rosario Dawson and Pedro Pascal in Star Wars be something that was really highlighted. I paused it for a moment, not gonna lie, I got a little emotional because look, Star Wars has always been the domain of white characters and white stories and all this kind of stuff. Having the recent moves to have more representation, more people involved in it has meant so much to me as a person who was a minority growing up and seeing all this stuff in Star Wars and seeing it progress now to have a scene where you've got a woman of, I think she's Cuban ancestry, Rosario Dawson, talking with a guy who's half Chilean as well. So all of that mixed in to have a great little scene between them, or a few scenes actually between them, meant so much to me as well. Oh, she's also Puerto Rican as well. So there's so much of that moving around within that. I just had a moment where I was like, God, this is awesome. Finally. Because we're going to be in the future too. I hate to break it to you. We're going to be in the future too. So it's nice to see us being included in all this stuff, Sabrina. Don't you think?
Yep.
We won't necessarily.
Oh, you'll be in the future, bro.
We'll be locked up in
you.
the future. I'll be in one of those things we saw in this
episode. Oh,
I'm sorry, I said that word.
No, you'll be spared.
Never mind.
You'll be spared, Brett. Don't worry.
You'll be spared. Oh, and that's another thing in that, and we'll move past it. That's what you're talking about, what you're referencing, Brett. There was some Spartacus vibes to that appearance, right? Like seeing that kind of, if you've watched the movie, that reference will come to you almost immediately. So yeah. All right. Anything more to say? Or should we move on?
I think for next week.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited. We have conjectured that it is Robert Rodriguez's episode, just based on who's writing the next two episodes.
Okay.
And so, what do you expect to see? I'm hoping to see and it's a shorter episode, rumored to be like 30-minute, like an average episode. Right. And if it's Robert Rodriguez, I'm expecting to see like El Mariachi, extreme, badass, even more Western than it was to
machetes and
machetes.
Oh
yeah.
Baby
a lot
Yoda
of
with
machetes. Salma Hayek stripping with a snake. I think there's a lot's in play, is what I would know. But
kids that are spies, or
yes. Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo has to make an appearance. Black and white.
I actually do expect a Danny Trejo cameo of some sort.
Yes.
Whether he's like in a uniform, I don't know. I think that's got to happen.
Yeah.
What are you doing here, Baby Yoda? Yeah, I want to see that. I'd like to see all of that for sure. But yeah, I don't know. Once again, we've had two kick-ass episodes back to back. So I think this Robert Rodriguez one, if he's only directing one, Alex, or is he directing two back to back?
Just one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it'll still be I think it's going to be a great episode, but I think it's going to be a little more laid back than people think for Robert Rodriguez, and that we'll still have a probably awesome battle sequence or fight somewhere. But I think it'll be a little more laid back than people think, because man, we can't. I don't know if we can keep going this trajectory of having these incredibly awesome episodes with these incredible battle scenes, and people don't get worn out. So you got to take a step back.
Agreed. Full-heartedly. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they could keep this pace up. Which that's another thing with this episode. Did they just peak? Did we just hit the high point of the season? I don't think so. I think we're still in for some really exciting stuff. But yeah, I mean, this was what a lot of people were waiting for.
Yeah. Agreed. All right, we'll see going forward what happens, and don't forget the spoiler review there that's available with Christian Harloff and Mike Kalinowski. Maybe they'll clip this out, so let us know what you thought about it in a non-spoiler way in the comments section below. Give it a like and share this clip out with everybody who everybody on your social media. So everybody who follows you will take a chance and watch it and enjoy it as well. All right,
John,
Alex,
real quick.
Oh yeah, sure.
How do you the non-spoiler thing has been just eating at me for years and years with this whole thing.
Okay.
It's how do you talk about certain things and then do most of the time you say something you go, shoot, I said that, and that's kind of a spoiler. You know, like,
What I think because I've been doing this now for a while, and trust me, I've blown some stuff before an accident. That's kind of the game once you're getting into it. That's kind of the trial and error thing. So now I just kind of instinctively trust my gut that, like, okay, I know what the things are that are spoilers. I know things aren't. If they've mentioned a character, it's not a spoiler if that character shows up. What you don't want to spoil is what that character reveals or says, because there is a massive reveal at the end of this episode that you're just like, holy shit, we're going here now. So those are the kind of things you just kind of like what you would instinctively feel, but you figure it out after a while. That's
I was like, we can't talk about Ahsoka Tano, right? I mean, you know, like, but I'm like, no, we've been talking. I talked about it with Christian, like, right when they mentioned it a year ago.
Yeah, it's not a spoiler when they mention the character. All right, let's move on to our next entertainment news, and please send in your Streamlabs Super Chat Schmobots. We've only got, I think, one Schmobot or two Schmobots, so come on, people. I know you're in a daze post Thanksgiving, but hey, that Mandalorian episode should have lifted your spirits up. So send us some stuff, ask us some questions. Keep it non-spoiler, and we'll answer anything you guys got today. Don't forget Mark Ellis coming in the second hour to hang out with us as well. Do we have a read? Should we get into the read first, Alex? Do we have a read?
Yes, we do.
Well, okay. How do I segue to Brett on this one? Brett,
I think what you just did was exactly how we're not supposed to.
Okay, I apologize.
But anyway, hey, I don't know. This might have been a pretty stressful Thanksgiving, and hopefully everybody made the best of it. It's been stressful this entire year for a lot of people, but there are ways that you can help out with this, and that's where Headspace comes into play. Headspace is a daily dose of mindfulness in the form of guided meditations in an easy-to-use app. It's the one and only meditation app advancing the field of mindfulness in meditation through clinically validated research. So, whatever the situation, Headspace really can help you feel better. Overwhelmed? Headspace has a 3-minute SOS meditation for you. Need help falling asleep? I do all the time. Headspace has a wind-down sessions that their members swear by, and for parents, Headspace has morning meditations you can do with your kids, which is excellent. During this time, kids need to just not be staring at a screen and just take some quiet time. I've told my kids to just stare at the ceiling, but now we have something else to do. Headspace's approach to mindfulness can reduce stress, improve sleep, boost focus, and increase overall sense of well-being. I'm going to say it again, and I've mentioned this one before. My biggest issue I have with sleep is when I get up and the mind starts racing, and I start thinking about something I did when I was 14 that I was embarrassed by and I can't let down. So what they have is this thing that kind of helps you get back to sleep and get away from these racing thoughts, and that's one of my favorite parts of this app. So Headspace is backed by 25 published studies on its benefits, 600,000 5-star reviews, and over 60 million downloads. So it's pretty popular. You should probably get it. Headspace makes it easy for you to build a life-changing meditation practice and find mindfulness that works for you on your schedule, anytime, anywhere. You deserve to feel better, SCHMOEDOWN community. The Headspace meditation app is meditation made simple. Go to headspace.com/SCNlive. What's that voice in my head? That's headspace.com/SCNlive for a free 1-month trial with access to Headspace's full library of meditations for every situation. It's the best offer they have right now. Head to headspace.com/SCNlive today. Do it, people! Please.
Very well done. Very well done. All right, now let's get into some of the stuff that's going on. What do we got, Alex?
All right, make sure to get your big-ass TVs on sale today because the Godzilla and King Kong showdown may head to streaming. Ooh. The big boy battle is scheduled to release in May 2021 as Warner Brothers blocked a potential Netflix $200 million plus deal while preparing an offer of their own for HBO Max streaming. Legendary Pictures financed 75% of the budget of Godzilla vs. Kong and has final say where it ends up, but distributor Warner Brothers Pictures controls the release. If a Netflix deal were to happen, Legendary can still open the movie in China, but an HBO Max deal can potentially mean a similar release to Wonder Woman 1984's theatrical and streaming simultaneous launch. The pandemic keeps affecting and pushing big budget movie films out of theaters, but do you think streaming would be a good move by Legendary, Rocha?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I
Eric
think
donated $20.
Thank
The
you.
episode was great, so much canon and legend references in this which made SME smile so much. She did a great job as Ashoka. Now Pedro Pascal is like he was in GOT, if you know what I mean.
Game of Thrones.
Only nitpick is that her montrals are small like before Ebbels.
Okay, I like that idea. Yeah, I mean, I absolutely agree with that. There was a lot dropped, a lot revealed here for you to enjoy, and no spoilers. But yeah, definitely jump into that. As for the streaming, no, I said it on SEN a few weeks ago. Like, we're going to get more announcements like this. This is going to happen. As human beings, we have assimilated to being at home to watch our stuff. We've kind of, I think we're never going to go back to the theater and the numbers that we did before. Once we kind of embrace a new normal, people start to just accept that and want to have things catered to them and sent to them. And this is the Kate Mulligan point, which she would bring up Wall-E and say that that's what we're going to end up as. But yeah, we'll want things brought to us, sent to us, streamed to us. That's kind of what we want now. And the hassle of going out to the theater, the hassle of, all the kids coming together, the hassle of everybody talking and opening bags and emotional moments, all of that goes away. And it doesn't mean like staying home doesn't have its own issues. I'm sure Brett can speak to that with a family getting together to watch a movie, but this is more convenient and it's easier. So I think this is going to start happening more and more. Plus, can you trust that everyone has taken the vaccine? I don't think that you can. There's so many anti-vaxxers and anti-mask people. They're not going to want to take the vaccine. So they're going to fight back if theaters start to say, well, we need to check your records, your medical records, to make sure you've taken this vaccine. So for fear of that, even when the vaccine becomes popular and everyone can take it, do you really trust that everyone in your theater is going to take it? When everyone in your theater, sometimes you get sick going to a movie theater because people go out to see a movie when they're sick and sneeze and cough or whatever, and you catch it in the movie theater. So why wouldn't you catch this? So I think this is going to happen more and more and more, and all these studios are making adjustments for it. What do you think, Sabrina?
Yeah, I'm still big on the communal experience of theaters.
Sure.
I still think you gain a lot more anytime you see a film. You're kind of uplifted by everyone in the audience. Mm-hmm. For this film in particular, I do think it's kind of a good move to put it on streaming because it wasn't a hit. The last one, King of the Monsters, it didn't do well domestically. So especially at a time like this, I really don't think people are going to be flocking to see the next part since the other one. But for Wonder Woman 84, I think that one is a perfect one to put on streaming, especially around Christmas time. I'm really excited for that. I haven't got a chance to talk about it yet. Super excited. I'm thinking that this is the best move for Godzilla versus Kong just because of the disappointing box office.
Have you seen Wonder Woman 84? Is that what you were kind of referencing a little bit right now? Did you just
No.
say, talk about it, but maybe I've seen it, maybe?
No. I wish. I'm just happy because ticket prices are so high. Even if we weren't in the middle of a pandemic, a lot of young women maybe wouldn't be able to see this type of film. You can't go with all your friends. For one family to go see a movie in Los Angeles, it's about like $100, $120, depending on the members. So I think a lot of people are going to be able to get that 7-day free trial. And even if you're paying for the month of HBO Max, it's still the price of like one movie ticket. So
yeah. And there's a lot of content on there, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Brett, what do you say on this?
Yeah, I basically what you said. I mean, it's sad, but this is the way things are going. And I think that I think everybody. I don't think it's the death of theaters. You can't. They will not go away. That experience, unless we have to wear masks and be in fear of COVID for the rest of our lives, which I'm hoping doesn't happen. But it's something. Yes, thank you. The silver screen, if you will, I believe, is not going away, and I think everybody will do anything in their powers, whether it is the HEPA filtration and really upping every sort of element of it to keep it alive. But yeah, it is when you can get a 70-inch television for under $1,000, you know, like the whole movie experience. It has become a lot better, and not just for the elite. You know, I mean, you can have a couch and a big ass TV from Costco. So, and you don't have to buy, you know, a $10 Coke. So yeah, that's my thoughts. I like that stuff is coming out on streaming now, because I want to see some of these things, and I am really excited about Wonder Woman, even though, you know, I'll ask Sabrina, she's already seen it, and see what she thinks about it.
Guys, I wish. You're giving me too much credit here. All right, I'm not that important yet.
Have people seen it? Have they gotten screeners in there?
No, the NBA players saw Black Widow. They did not see Wonder Woman 84. So I don't know if anyone outside of CW, maybe some of the people who've been asked to go and do these like fan screenings to kind of give them some idea of what works and what doesn't work. Yeah. I think those are maybe the only people who have seen it, from what I've heard, or people being really quiet who have seen it, who are in our sphere. I haven't heard anybody talk about it, that they've seen it.
Rocha has all the tea. From what he's heard.
I don't know if anyone has seen it. Yeah.
Look, I knew back in June that they were considering putting this on streaming, so I'm not surprised when it was announced, but I'm just nervous. Alex, Brett brings up an excellent point, because right now on Black Friday, as we're talking, and some of you maybe are taking us with you as you go to Black Friday in your headphones, you can get a damn good 75-inch television that's 4K UHD and a great sound system like the Sonos Beam, which is $300 for $1,000. You literally could set yourself up for $1,000 in your house, perfectly fine. So does the advent of, or the accessibility of this increasing make streaming more and more where we're all going, along with the COVID situation?
Yeah, I think both those factors will incentivize people, more families, to get more of the streaming services and want more of these movies to come out on streaming services as well. But for me, I'm not.
Donated $20.
Thank you.
Godzilla King of Monsters sucked big donkey balls, and Rocha dude I actually had sweet potato pie for Turkey Day dinner. Amazing, love you all.
Love you.
Balls?
I do enjoy the sweet potato pie more than the apple. It is I worked at a barbecue joint out of college, and I was sold on the sweet potato pie.
Yeah.
Pumpkin, man. Pumpkin.
You want to finish your point, Alex? You want to finish your point, Alex?
Cheryl_Dick_Pants donated $20.
Good to see you.
Happy Friday. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. Can't watch live as I am watching my Hawkeyes kick the crap out of Nebraska. Oh, sorry, Brett. Ellis and Rocha, how about that game last night? Love watching Stephen A. Smith react when the Cowboys lose.
That guy. $6 million to yell into a camera. I could do that. But yeah, it's Stephen A. Smith. You don't put the players. Oh, well, anyway. Finish your point, Alex.
What was I saying? More families will get it. But for me, I think like AMC A-List was amazing for people to have, like, because it was $20 a month, and you can go, what was it, 3 times a week?
Yep.
The underscore child donated $20.
Oh, the child.
Joining in late. Does anyone know how to legally change one's name in the Star Wars universe? What the hell was that?
Incredible. Incredible.
That's what I was talking about, right?
Wow, I didn't.
Great
there's
points.
some Discord with that.
Yeah. Oh no, I know there's going to be some Discord on that.
Yeah.
No surprise. Some people didn't like the name. Most people did, but some people didn't. So no surprise.
I kind of didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. See.
I didn't love it. I'll warm up to it. But
Okay, that's fair.
Okay.
It'll grow on you.
How are we? People are it's just
Let's be careful.
It'll grow on you. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, nobody liked the end of Lost. And, I'm trying to see if I can.
It's not true. I like the end of Lost. I love the end of Lost. I thought that whole season was just a dreamscape, and then you got to that ending. So that's the way I don't hate it like I hated the end of Game of Thrones. I hated the end, but I like the end of Lost. Alex, did you finish your point yet or no?
I have not yet. Sorry.
4 interruptions.
But yeah, this pandemic is creating this whole backlog of movies, and so like studios have to get everything out so that they can make this money back, so they can create more things in the future. And so just get it out there as much as you can. Tonight I'm going to a drive-in to see Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Nice.
So I'm gonna bring the tissues, but also like I just want to have that feeling of somewhat of a communal experience again, and like I really miss theaters. I saw Mank and Tenet this past week, and so like
nice.
I just need to go do something relatively theatrically. So
yeah. All right.
Now I'm done with my point.
Okay, that's a good point. It was excellent. It was worth waiting for, right?
Yeah, I think there's two ways to look at this. I mean, the first, there's like the Squawk Box look at it, where I know 30% of the profit from the other two Godzilla movies were in China. And this movie is still going to be in theaters in China because I don't think the situation's as bad over there as it is here right now.
China.
Yes. So they are still getting their money with some theaters here. And I mean, what's a little bit more astonishing is this is Godzilla, and like unlike Wonder Woman 1984, Warner Brothers has a streaming platform of their own. This is going to be a case where this studio is literally selling it to Netflix, and it's a movie this big. Like I can't think of another movie this scale that has been sold to one of these streaming companies. I mean, even like Aaron Sorkin's Trial Chicago 7, that was like their biggest purchase from a non-Netflix film. This I think is going to dwarf that substantially. I mean, this is a huge blockbuster movie, but they're still going to make it from that money in China. So I think this makes sense. I don't think we're at the point where we're going to be seeing, other movie like a Mission Impossible get sold to Netflix or something like that quite yet. But these movies that, hey, you're still going to get your international release, you're still going to get that box office, I think we will see more and more of those go to streaming because, like you said, there's a backlog.
Yeah, that's a great point you made, Alex, as to about the backlog that Ryan picked up there. Yeah, certainly. You eventually got there, so I appreciate it. But yeah, you're right, Ryan. I mean, that's the thing. But Sabrina makes an excellent point too. If this was like the next MCU film and it was massive, and if this was Endgame, I really doubt we'd be seeing it in streaming. But the fact that it's a franchise that has diminishing returns, both box office wise and critical reception wise, then it makes sense to drop this for as many people as possible onto streaming. If this was like Transformers: The Last Night, I think that would go to streaming as well. Like it's in that camp. People, there are people who defend it and like it, and then there are people who really didn't like it. And
do you think, Rocha, it would go to streaming?
So it's easier choice.
Do you think it would go to streaming if it wasn't getting some release in international theaters, though?
Yeah, no. I think the international release in the theaters is essential to that as well. Yeah, because it knows where it's going to make its money there in the box office, and going to streaming now allows more people to have access to it and talk about it. And remember, if it goes to streaming, they can still buy it eventually on Blu-ray if they like it. So they're still going to make their money one way or another, the way they would if they dropped it in a theater, and maybe more, because look, I'm no analyst of this kind of thing. I haven't dived into this as deeply, nor do I have connections to find out the sales figures compared to streaming. We're all still kind of in the infancy of that. But if you take a look at this and they see, well, more people watched Mulan than maybe would have because of the middling reviews in the theater. So more people bought Mulan, and then more people bought the Blu-ray of Mulan because they had seen it. You could take a look at that and see if maybe more people have access to streaming, so more people give it a chance on a Saturday night or a Friday night or a Tuesday afternoon or whatever, and they might actually like it, and they'd be like, oh yeah, I think I will buy this, and then put in their order or whatever. So once I want to see figures like that start to come out, if they, in comparison to the interest, is it more viable on streaming financially overall for all facets of the movie or not? So we'll see eventually, but Wonder Woman's going to be the barometer, I think, not this movie. And you talk about other movies that get sold, Ryan, like they looked at James Bond for $600 million. There was conversations about it. Wow. It didn't happen, but there were conversations. So, I mean, I think it's all in play now as we go forward.
And again, that's a movie where the majority of the box office, that's here in the States. I don't think they're getting a huge chunk from China with that movie.
Right. Just like the Star Wars movies just they don't do well in China. So, we'll see. China. It's also, you like my desk? I got this desk from my daughter. I like this for this press conference. This is my desk. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I'm also looking at there's a list on Wikipedia of like all the films that were pushed back due to the pandemic.
Oh.
And like Godzilla vs. Kong was supposed to come out last Friday.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wow, like, and now who knows where it's going to end up. I don't know. It's just very interesting to see everything that's been moved. Like, we're supposed to get a Venom 2 this year. Forgot about that. Clifford, the Big Red Dog, was supposed to come out 2 weeks ago.
Oh, my God. Clifford.
So,
yeah, that's right. That's right.
And Eternals, my gosh. There's just... This sucks.
Well, listen, I don't mean to advocate other people starting rival, but like if you've been sitting on your ass wanting to start a YouTube channel and you've been like, who else is going to care about what I got to blah, blah. 2021 is your time because there's going to be so much coming out. You're going to have content galore, so you can learn whether it's something for you or not. So get up off your ass and start something and see if maybe it works out for you. I would encourage people to do that. Anything you're doing, actually. All right. Well, what do we got next, Alex? And please keep saying in your Streamlabs and SCHMOEDOWN super chats. Come on, people. We're a little light. Come on. Do I got to get Winston in here to start drinking, for God's sakes? Come on. All right, Alex, bring it.
All right. Speaking of Clifford, the first teaser for Clifford the Big Red Dog has been released, showing the relative size of the titular big boy. The movie is based on the classic children's books and follows a middle schooler who is gifted a little red pupper by a magical animal rescuer. But the next day, the little guy becomes a big boy. Ah! Hijinks ensue with a cast including Darby Camp, John Cleese, Sienna Guillory, Tony Hale, David Alan Grier, amongst others. Paramount will release the movie in November 2021, giving us ample time to form theories and speculate on ties to canon. Rocha, are you excited for this movie based on this little teaser?
Does it really say ties to canon on Clifford the Big Red Dog?
Ties to canon.
That's not my Clifford.
Book canon.
Oh, but yeah, right, book canon.
Which litter is
the 20-page books?
I love those books before. I don't remember anything about them except that he was a big boy.
Yeah, I don't recall anyone complaining about canon when Curious George came out as a live-action film. So
Can we talk about The
the
Odd Couple versus Deception match yet? Can we spoil it yet? I think that was the best match since when Founding Fathers took the belts from corruption.
Thank you. Has it been more than 24 hours? When did it drop? On Tuesday?
I think it dropped yesterday.
Oh, it did. Oh, then we can't talk about it. Yeah, we can't talk about it. But it's a non-spoiler review.
Another when that one person, the other person
did that thing, and it looked really good.
That question was hard. That last one.
When they answered it or didn't answer it, pretty amazing stuff. Pretty amazing stuff for sure. But yes, if you haven't seen the Odd Couple versus Deception match, you gotta watch it. Jeff Snyder, Mark Andreyko trying to climb back to become champions again against this up-and-coming team. Look, Collins has been shocking the world, everybody, and I am one of his victims. It's incredible to see him. And Marisol McKee, people love Marisol McKee. She is a shit talker extraordinaire. So them coming together under the evil queen Shannon Barney's guidance, how can you not have a barn burner of a match? And Lord knows Mark Andreyko can slice anyone with that tongue of his. So there's probably great banter on the desk for this one as well. So it's definitely, virtually, I guess, since we're not in the studio. But yeah, definitely watch it. I'm sure it was a fantastic match. I haven't watched it yet. Been prepping for our match later today. But yeah, that was a great match. So, all right, what's next? What are we talking about? Clifford the Big Red Dog. Anybody watch this teaser? Anybody care? The dog is red. It's live action. It looks really fucking weird. I don't know about canon with this dog. I grew up reading the books, but I can't tell you what they were about for the life of me, other than a big red dog. And then, who was his owner? Was it a girl? Was it a young girl?
Yeah.
Sally or something. What's her name? Jane? Jesse?
I was trying to look it up. I just watched that trailer. I forgot. I got the Mandalorian, and I figured that was the important one. Clifford the Big Red Dog. But I just watched the teaser. And I don't think I approve of Clifford's size as Hulk. Hulk Hogan approves.
Was he not big enough, or was he too?
I don't think he's.
Oh, you don't think he's big enough?
No, because Clifford is enormous.
Yes.
Like this is a Marmaduke. This is a Marmaduke. This is not a Clifford. Hashtag not my Clifford.
He wasn't up to scale.
But again, I don't know how you would make a film with a dog that's the size of a dinosaur. I don't know what you.
As an experiment, I want to do a 20-minute video on my channel about how this is not my Clifford. It's not a big red dog. That is not big. Yes, it's red. It's not big. Let's take a look at these books from before. This is not canon.
Was he a puppy too?
Brett. Yeah, that's the thing. So there's a lot of things that kind of went through my mind when I first saw this. One, I don't think he's big enough. I remember a picture from my childhood of him up like next to a house, and he was like a little bit bigger than the house.
Right.
So he needs to be a little bit bigger. Also, the shade of red is odd to me. You might as well just go, this is ridiculous. Just go full like red, not this not like a little bit translucent, more realistic red, because this isn't realistic at all anyway. So go 100.
It looks like they spray painted a dog. Like it looks like when people dye their dogs for dog shows. That's what it looks like.
And I want that red. And then also he's huge, but he's a puppy. Like they used a puppy that's big instead of making it like an adult looking dog. I feel like that would sit a little bit better with me.
Right. And they were panning, they were showing like all these different breeds. I noticed there were like no poodles or anything like that, but they kept going and now it's like huge puppy. A little confused. So maybe he'll grow into that larger than a house, big red dog. But you're right. Like the red was a weird shade. Like it was almost blood red. I was not a fan of the look. And that's like the one thing about this movie that you kind of need to get right. It's just this one piece. I don't know. And I don't know what they're referring to with the lore. Like, is this going to be a universe? Is Curious George going to pop up in here? I don't really know what to expect from this. And I'm not incredibly psyched. Is Curious George? Is Nate the Great? Like, are there going to be all these other children's books characters coming in?
Oh yeah. Wait till we get that Arthur live action Arthur movie. Wait till we get that. But here's the director's Walt Becker, and Walt Becker clearly has an obsession with animals because his films are Buying the Cow, Wild Hogs, Old Dogs, Alvin and the Chipmunks, and then Clifford the Big Red Dog. So very interesting stuff.
Wild Hogs. Oh my gosh.
But he started his career, Brett Sheridan, with Van Wilder, Party Liaison. That's right.
Yes, Van Wilder. I was just looking up the cast, and I see that they're not saying who certain people are playing, too. Oh. And I do know I did an Acme show with Kel of Keenan and Kel.
Okay.
And he was T-Bone on the animated series. But now I'm looking at, and I don't see him in the cast list, but I see Keenan in the and if they cast Keenan as T-Bone instead of Kel, what an F you to these guys, these Keenan and Kel bros. Come on,
bros. I mean, come on, bros.
Good Burger. I mean, don't break up the Good Burger, guys.
Is this the most controversial 2021 movie?
Yeah, John Ritter was Clifford in the animated series.
Who knew this was the one we were going to fight about?
Yeah. But it looks, Horatio Sands.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, they're not even. Oh, so it's Emily. I think Emily was the.
Yeah, Emily. That's it. Yeah.
Who is Darby Camp? I don't know.
I love the behind the scenes photos. Have you guys seen that?
No.
I'm trying to get it on my
plastic
TV.
dog.
Okay.
That's actually what I want to see. That, but with the realistic features, I want it to be that red. I'm never gonna stop. Like I'm never gonna stop complaining about this.
Interesting people involved in this. Yeah, like Jack Whitehall. He's an interesting comedian to say the least. He was in Good Omens, which I've seen. Also, Rosie Perez is an interesting addition to this. Whose dog is that? John
Cleese.
John Cleese, right? David Allen Greer as the voice of Clifford. Now that I like, because David is a very funny, sarcastic guy. So I enjoy that idea.
Need a sarcastic dog. Was the dog sarcastic in the books?
I don't know.
Smoking a cigarette. He's like, "Hey guys."
Oh my gosh!
It's Clifford.
What is that behind you? That's the mocap.
Like they were filming it.
Oh man!
Wow.
You know what?
That's
you go get the bone. Yeah, that's the red that you want. Right. Get the side. Oh well. All right. Let's move on before we kill this thing.
If you want more content like this about Clifford the Red. Click and subscribe. Send in your schmo.
Leave a comment. Come on, people, send those in. All right. Anyway, Chris is gonna kill me, man. We're an hour in. We're doing terrible.
If we get to
money-wise.
400, I'll chug a beer or something.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll
Hey.
go to Winston.
Let's go.
Yeah. Well, we
Well,
got Ellis
sugar beer.
coming in hopefully here in a bit, and he'll say,
Yeah,
us.
there you go.
Everybody loves Ellis. He's so great.
He's such a funny guy. All right. What we got next, Alex?
All right.
Do you have any more
so-
reads? By the way, do you have any more reads, or are we good for the day?
No, we're good. We're good.
Okay,
We're good.
Alex, what's next?
Great pre-pro today. What do you got? That deodorant one or the boner pill? What do we got?
Oh, meditation. Meditation.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
okay,
Meditation.
I love it when I do the meditation and the fuels in one day. We really see what society has come to in 2020. It's like our sponsors are slowly all becoming self-help type items.
Yeah, we all need it. What do you got, Alex?
All right. The Russo brothers are back on board to write the sequel to Extraction. The movie was released on Netflix this past April, with Sam
Yeah.
Hargrave directing the Russo script about an underworld of weapons dealers and traffickers, and follows a young boy who becomes the pawn in a war between notorious drug lords and the Australian mercenary Tyler Rake, played by Chris Hemsworth, sent to retrieve the boy.
Yeah.
They plan to shoot sometime next year, with a director not in place just yet. Rocha, what do you think of this? And what do you think of the original movie? And are you excited for a sequel?
Let me say, the original movie is a chef's kiss. It's a beautiful movie about violence and revenge and an extraction. I think that's the
Yes.
title. So, but no, I thoroughly loved it. Hemsworth was so great, and the fight scenes were fucking astronomically awesome. And throughout, and the pace just never let up. And I'm really hard on the Netflix movies because I have not found them to be of high quality most years. Like that War Machine one with Brad Pitt or Bright, like they do not impress me most of the time. Their original ones, like Beasts of No Nation was great, but that's a rarity. And so this one, I was like hesitant. I was like, is this going to be one of those dumb action films? It actually was. It had more weight to it. And I thought Hemsworth did a really nice job with the character that Bruce Willis now, dials in all the time. Hemsworth gave it real life and real vulnerability and character. And so I'm excited that they're going back to this world. But I wonder how they're going to connect the sequel up because of what happened at the end of that movie, what this path this sequel is going to walk. So what do you guys think? Ryan, did you see this thing?
Yeah, I saw this. I loved it. I think this is, again, just proving what I said earlier wrong. Like, Netflix can take these huge blockbuster movies and find a life for them. And this was pretty early on, the pandemic. This was one of the first big movies coming out on streaming. So everyone kind of hopped on and saw it. And yeah, I think Chris Hemsworth killing it. I was actually really excited to see this one because he hasn't done much outside of the MCU other than comedy. Where he's like really shined, and this one I truly believe he has. He's an action star. He can do whatever. The dude's a chameleon. I really did think the violence was pretty nuts at times, but it was almost like a throwback to some like 90s action movies. Yeah. And yeah, you're right. The ending. I don't know what's going on after that swimming pool. It was a little blurry. We'll see.
Yeah, they came up with a name for the kid that not a lot of people are going to like. They revealed the name.
Yeah.
Brett, did you see this or did you not
I
see
did
this?
not see. I was just looking it up. I just want to know, does Hemsworth come back, and would you, will there be pictures where we need to approve of his size? That's all I want to know. I think that's the biggest thing on everyone's minds these days is the approval of actors and actresses' size.
Is he big and red enough?
Yes.
Yeah, right. Is he amazing?
Well, I mean, speaking of the color, the reason why I didn't watch the film is because of the sepia tone.
Oh, yeah.
From the trailer, I didn't really get into it, so that's actually why I didn't check out the film. Just because I kind of get annoyed when the entire thing is like that. Does it kind of get better throughout, like when you're watching the film? Because that kind of thing takes me out.
Oh, the flashbacks are in sepia tone, but it does get vibrant and color and all that regular. Yeah, absolutely. Do you ignore black and white films too, or do you go back and see those?
No, it was just a bright sepia tone. Like
right.
I just
I get it. Sabrina was like, she's like, don't give me artsy fartsy in an action film. She's like, don't give me that. No, you're not impressing anybody. Just give me an action film. I respect that. Did you? So you haven't seen it yet?
No.
Okay. I if you've got a couple hours, and it's Hemsworth doing some. He's a good looking dude.
I really like Chris Hemsworth in a lot that he does, and he's so good with comedies. But even his action stuff outside of Thor, I do want to see him do a lot more of that.
Yeah, I agree with that. Alex?
Speaking of comedy, I think as far as an SNL host, somebody who like learned his lines and wasn't looking at like and really just put his everything, like that's when I really got an appreciation for him as an actor. Oddly enough, is like I was like, yeah, he wasn't doing this thing and breaking, and you know, I don't know how many times he's been on, but you know, hey, maybe the sketches weren't wonderful, but he committed. You know, I don't know, I can't.
It's like John Hamm, right? Like John, nobody expected comedy from John Hamm out of Mad Men,
right?
And then he comes in and does SNL and he kills it. Then he goes on 30 Rock and he kills it, and he's just great. And then, you know, Bridesmaids and all those characters he's played in those comedies, he's really good at what he does. So Hemsworth has such a natural ability because he didn't come to Hollywood like Van Damme or like Stallone or Schwarzenegger. He was a regular Australian guy trying to break into the business, and he was a couple of rejections away from giving up and going back to Australia. He said this numerous times before he got Thor. He was sleeping on people's couches. Like he was struggling. So, you know, it's not his natural affinity to be this action star, but things worked out. So, you know, he's doing it.
And it was unfortunate that he was the funniest part of the Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah. It's true.
Yeah. I mean, like I was rooting for my ladies in that one, but yeah, he had all the best lines.
I just love how everyone's surprised about like John Hamm and Chris Hemsworth. It's like you can't be handsome and funny too.
No,
right? Sabrina, I mean, look at me.
Let me correct you. Let me correct you. It's not that you can't be. It's that the rest of us that aren't get really fucking mad. That's what it is. We're like, oh, that too? You can do that too? No, get out. Get out. Leave us something, you bastards. Well, Alex, what did you think of this? Did you see this movie? Are you excited for a sequel? What's your feeling on this?
I saw it. I was very impressed with that one shot, that one take that they did. It was what, like 10 minutes long or something?
Oh yeah.
That was just very insanely well done. But overall, I think it was just one of those movies for me that just came in one ear out the other. But like, I see Netflix is giving a sequel to this, but like another Netflix movie that really hit for me was The Old Guard.
Oh yeah,
the Gina Prince Bythewood movie, and because she, you know, gave a lot of, you know, strong backstory to all the characters, and that world is more interesting to me. Like I want to see Netflix greenlight a sequel to that instead of this, which is more, you know, kind of 90s-ish, early 2000s kind of action movie, which I still appreciate, but I think something like The Old Guard could also do something special.
Yeah. I think that's a great point you bring up, Alex. Absolutely. And we'll see if there's something being negotiated. Remember, a lot of people are saying we wouldn't get a sequel to Extraction, but that thing got 99 million viewers. I'm looking up right now in its first 4 weeks. So that's pretty insane. I think Old Guard was up there in the 85, 80 range as well, Alex, I believe. So that's not what I think so. Let me see.
I really like The Old Guard. What did everybody else feel about? Was that one? I
loved it.
Yeah, so fun. And really, yeah, there's a bigger world there to dive into.
Yeah.
Which I think maybe it's just the Russo brothers. They have so much pull, and sometimes that trumps the other stuff that they have options for.
My wife loves seeing Charlize kicking ass. I mean, we
Dark Faith 66 donated $20.
Thank you, Dark
I thought
Faith.
the child's name being Bob was fine. Don't know why people are upset. Hey, Brett.
Bob Yoda. I mean, it was
Bob Yoda.
choice. It was like, why, you know?
Bobby Yoda.
Oh, I see you've met Bob Yoda.
Bobby, put it down. Bobby. Put the knob down, Bobby.
That one in
Stay on target.
He gets older and he gets all like highfalutin.
Can I say something
It's Robert Mando.
It's Robert.
A little controversial right now. I don't want to,
Okay.
you know, Sabrina, no offense, but you have a really sexy tripod in the back of your shot there. Completely jealous
Johnny
of
Five for Life donated $40.
Thank you, Johnny.
Thank you,
All
Johnny.
right, everybody, let's talk turkey. I would like to know what's the most ridiculous argument everyone's gotten into at Thanksgiving dinner with a family member. Not political, just ridiculous.
Good question.
Well, that's why I started having Friendsgiving 20 years ago, because, you know, there were no drunk uncles being racist and things like that, like from my past childhood Thanksgivings, you know. Not my parents, right? But there were some family members that I just really weren't looking forward to seeing during Thanksgiving.
Right. You know how they are, Brett.
Yes. Yeah. The foreigners.
I can't say it, but you know how they are.
Yeah.
Your mother doesn't like me saying those things around you, but my girlfriend and I got into a little bit funny last night about her sweet potato casserole because she made it, but she threw pecans in it, and I'm like, you don't put pecans in the sweet potato casserole. That kind of throws off. So, and then she used those like healthy mushrooms, and I'm like, listen, honey, I get it, and I know what you're trying to do, but the mushrooms got crispy instead of soft, and it's because they don't have the chemicals that you get. Those are the mushrooms you use, the soft chemical mushrooms. I don't care that I'm going to get diabetes from it. Give it to me. So there was a big argument about the right way to do it. And she was like, you know, I made this thing. And so it was a big back and forth. And then I texted a picture of it to my friend who makes it every year. And he chimed back and said, yeah, you don't want to use the healthy mushrooms. Those aren't marshmallows. Those aren't the right way to go with those things. So
and you don't use fresh green beans and green bean casserole. That is not.
You don't. That's right.
No. That's you got the soft canned salty. No, that one I'd throw a TV out the window if somebody ever did that again.
But she cooked a hell of a meal, though. I was very blessed to have a woman like that making so much food. It was great. But yes,
that's awesome.
The sweet potato casserole was an issue. What was that? What was the Black Jeopardy with Black Panther? He was like, you put like grapes in the potato salad or whatever, raisins. That's it. Oh hell no, Karen. What about you guys?
Well, Brandon actually cooked basically our entire Thanksgiving dinner.
My God.
Killed it.
Nice.
And killed it. Did so good while I just kind of like hung out and drank a lot of mimosas. So that was a lot of fun. But yeah, about the tripod really quick. It was from a vintage store in Los Angeles. And it's from Chicago in like the 1920s or 30s. And it's from like, it's made from steel, and it was from one of the original companies. It's on the back of it. So really, really cool. And it obviously still works.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
That's how I take my selfies, guys.
I got a cheap Amazon one, and I'm
Oh
man, that's how the other half lives, I guess.
I found out that it's with a tripod, it's about the weight of the tripod that's really essential. You know, my girlfriend's a photographer, and I was showing her, like you, Brett, I was going off Amazon because I want a second tripod to do hosting auditions for, because I hate just kind of taking things apart, putting it all back together, measuring. Yeah. It's so fucking annoying. So if I can afford one, I'll get one. And I said to her, she was like, why are you looking at these 2 or 3 pound tripods? They're for shit. You got to get 8 pounds or above. And I'm like, oh, and those things can get crazy expensive. Like $2,000, $20,000 for a tripod. I lost my mind going onto a camera store online. I was, this is insane. So yeah,
this weighs more than me, I swear.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's heavy.
It's heavy.
Some more tripod talk.
Yeah.
About sign up.
Putting the time code down.
Make sure you leave a comment down below.
Mine's 4 pounds. Yeah.
Let us know how much your tripod
I have like a Canon one.
Schmobot in how much your tripod weighs.
Perfect.
We
can't wait till Ellis comes in.
we got into a pretty. This was 2 years ago. I remember we got into a table-wide debate here in Pennsylvania about if the Philadelphia Eagles should get rid of Nick Foles or get rid of Carson Wentz, because that was like a whole QB controversy in Pennsylvania or in Philadelphia. And I just remember like we were there were two sides, like, and everyone had a very firm opinion. And I don't know if that's so much ridiculous, but we were like, he did it. He's the one who actually made it there. And then the other one, he just got us to the point. And I'm looking back on that now, and I'm like, I actually think that made a lot of sense that we were arguing about that, just seeing how they are now. Man.
Yeah, and now in retrospect, looking how terrible Carson is playing this year and can't stay healthy no matter what he does, yeah, it seems like even more valid of an argument now.
Brutal.
Alex, what's your family fight over? The ham? What's your fight
What's
over?
your family?
Yeah, the ham.
The ham?
I'm trying to think. I don't know if we've. I guess maybe just what movie we're watching that night. I don't really know. Because I'd stay away. I stay away from conflict just in general.
Seems
no
like
way
it
to
seems
live,
like
Alex.
you're so well put together.
That's no way to live, Alex.
He's at peace.
Yeah.
Yeah, your songs aren't going to improve until you get into some conflict. I hate to break it to you. I hate to break it to you. You write good music. It's sweet. It's nice. But
No,
eventually.
somebody hurt him.
Somebody's got to break your heart, Alex.
No, somebody
Like,
definitely did.
Yeah. Oh, with some of your
I
some
can
of your
tell.
lyrics.
No,
Yeah.
there's.
Yeah. Just wait till next month for my next release. You'll hear it.
Nice.
You'll hear it.
Nice. Fuck John Rocha. Okay, I get it. I respect it.
I listened to one of the songs and I just texted him back, pain.
Oh,
Like,
nice. Nice, Alex.
Yeah, get excited for some December pain. It'll
So
be
you,
fun.
so you don't stay away from conflict. You do have some conflict in your life.
Well, okay, conflict in like arguments. And,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
over things like that, but
right.
conflict in terms of the heart. Oh,
There it is.
But I mean, yeah, nothing exciting
Okay.
on my end.
Okay.
I sat with the kids table.
Oh. We eliminated the kids table with our Friendsgiving. We thought that was we just wanted to bring everybody together. So that's just something I just want to share with everybody because I'm better than everybody who has Thanksgiving. But we.
Do you guys remember?
He's better.
You guys remember when you would have those the first time you sat at the adult table, like you because you can't just get in. Sometimes you have, at least in my family, you had to kind of fight your way to the adult table. You couldn't be like invited into the table. Like you had to kind of sit down and see if the uncles or the aunts had an issue,
Right.
and then just eat and like occasionally chime into the conversation, you know. And then because I mean, eventually you hit that age where like we're only 20 years apart. Like, shut the hell up, you know? But like at first, when you're 21, 22, you're coming into the table, you're like, is it cool? Am I all right? But yeah.
You're not going to believe this, Rocha, but I spent all my time in the kitchen with my aunts and my mom while the men watched football, and that's why I cook on Thanksgiving. Because I didn't want to be around those. It was like, I was just like, what? I don't know what they're talking about. They're screaming about Nebraska football.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about politics and things, and I just was like, hey, what you cooking in here? Let me learn how to make a turkey.
I remember when I went to one Thanksgiving, and there's the last time I went to a Thanksgiving on my dad's side of the family. We don't speak to them anymore. You know, my father passed, so we stopped speaking to that side of the family. But we went to one Thanksgiving one time, and I went down into the chamber or whatever the basement was where they were watching, all the cousins were watching football. And as you said, Brett, the drunken racism and insanity. I was sitting there like, because I lived in LA for 10 years, so I was like hyper aware of what you're supposed to say and not. And I was just blown away by some of the shit that was being said just so casually, both male and female cousins, casually saying this shit. And I was just like, I walked up, I went to my mom, I was like, I'm driving home. Because I drove myself there. I was like, I'm going home. I'm good. I just, bring me a plate. I'm good. I'm going to get the hell on out of here. And I've never been back. So I hear you. It's a smart place to be in the kitchen, but stay away from that shit. It's nuts.
But yay, Sabrina, you got the right dude. I mean, that's the, my wife hasn't cooked in 20 years. We both, we didn't get to do the big one this year, but it was my friend does the side dishes, and people aren't even allowed to be in the kitchen other than myself and my friend who he also does tons of cooking. So yeah,
right.
And the dog show is on, or the parade. It's not football. So.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. I had some records going. All the lights were up. It was just a lot of fun. It was as fun as it possibly can be, just two people.
Right. That's good. Now just tell him to cut his hair. That's the only problem. That's getting out of control. Did you?
I cut it once, like 5 months ago. And probably we're actually just gonna let it go. We're gonna go Bradley Cooper star. Oh. Well, I don't feel like doing it again. I'm a little lazy.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, he only cooked you a whole meal. Why cut his hair? Right, I get it.
I'm sitting down with my feet up on the table, just sipping mimosas. I'm like, when is it gonna be ready?
Screaming at the TV and the football.
It's coming back in between.
Yeah, multitask, and he's
I'm a little warm in here. No, you say Bradley Cooper. He's starting to look Unabomber-ish. You got to get him to cut that hair. Oh, he's a beard away from the Unabomber. So.
He has a beard.
Okay. Wait till he comes in one day and he's like, you know what the problem is? The problem is the government. And then the government, they've got these little trackers. All right, cut your hair. Get out of here. I guess we'll see Ellis at some point. Ryan, Alex, let's get into our next thing. Is he?
Oh, he
Bring
is.
him in.
Bring him in.
Little drum roll.
We're done with stories, so let's get him in.
There he is.
Hey.
Oh, look at that. Representing the Washington football team on a muted mic. I appreciate it.
Muted mic.
I didn't mute my mic. All right. One of you jokers did it. Now look, it is good to see all my friends. I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving out there who's watching. And once again, Rocha, you and I have something to talk about. We have a fake punt to discuss. I don't know if we've done it yet.
No, we haven't.
We got to talk about the fake punt. We'll talk about the fake punt in 1 sec. The other thing is, before I compliment and enjoy John Rocha, I do have to correct him yet again. That's my job.
Okay.
Rocha, you can't be out here quoting stats for Netflix, okay? 92 million views in 4. Those are from Netflix. That's like me keeping my own stats on the playground. Like, don't believe any of this stuff.
Are you accusing them of lying? Netflix of lying?
Yes, always.
Wow, that's surprising to me. Okay,
Say
all right.
lying, exaggerating.
Thank you.
Highly
Thank you,
exaggerating.
Sabrina.
I
Yes.
did shoot 70% from three-point land in elementary school, so I got that.
Yeah.
Nice reference. I like that.
I believe
Then
that.
you can extend that out to the studios. Then are they really telling the truth about how many people are going to see their movies versus? Can't you?
No, everybody
Okay.
lied. Everybody lied. There's 6 people
Everybody
on this
lies?
show, and I guarantee you 5 of them are lying.
Yeah. Not me. See, that's what he's saying. Hey, you know what I found out? Commercial, companies, the production companies, they're the ones that monitor how much the commercials, and they tell you how many times they've played for your pay.
Oh, yeah.
There's not a separate company that does that.
Yeah,
that's why
that's
when
true.
I get them, and I'm like, how do residuals no, I've heard 100 people say these things 100 times, and that's something that needs to change. Brett Sheridan, 20, whatever the next one is. Go.
2024. Oh, okay.
I can't add 4 years like that quick to an even number.
That's your issue. You one issue voter. Let's get into Mike McCarthy trying to get himself fired on Thanksgiving Day. This was nuts yesterday. Ellis, we have another NFC East guy with us here with Ryan Nilsen. Not sure. Oh, and Sabrina jumping out. It's perfect timing. But yeah, this was. I mean, who goes for unless you're playing Madden? You don't go for it twice on 4th down on your side of the field and a fake punt. Like, it's just madness what he was trying to do here, Mark.
It was one of the more perplexing calls I've ever seen in a sporting event that was still competitive. It was 20-16. We were winning, and it's not like Washington offensively is ever going to set the world on fire or put the fear of God in their opponent. Very easily could have had a 3 and out, and then you had the ball right back. Andy Dalton was hitting some deep shots down, or at least getting interference calls. So it's not like the Cowboys were completely anemic offensively, but they just ran one of the worst fake punts I've ever seen. We don't have to harp on it. I know a lot of people aren't quite as invested in the Washington football team or the NFC East as John and I and Ryan are, but it was almost like I was out of my own body where I was rooting for Washington, and I was just sitting back as a football fan like, what in God are you doing to this beautiful sport, Mike McCarthy?
It was like the Jim Zorn experience, except we weren't cheering for the team that was being coached by Jim Zorn. It felt like that swinging fence or whatever he tried to do on that field goal play that one time, or that 4th down, that nuttiness he called.
And we ran a Tumblerooski too.
Yes.
Like we had a couple trick plays that worked out okay. So I don't know if old Ryan Nilsen up there with his one tie is looking at us like, oh boy, now I fear Washington. But I think we all know that Christian is just not going to talk about the Giants at all. And then on Christmas Day, they're going to seal up the NFC East, and then he cannot wait to talk about the New York Football Giants.
Daniel Jones was always my guy. That's what I was going to say.
Always.
Yeah, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no, it's funny. Whenever watching a Cowboys game, I always crave the reaction shot of the booth and seeing Jerry Jones either like turn away. But this game, it was Mike McCarthy, because I thought this was like an intentional tank. I thought that this was just, wow, that couldn't have been that horrible of a play call. That had to be intentional. Are they just trying to lose out? But when they cut to him, he looked like, wow, gobsmacked. That didn't work. It was one of the worst plays I've ever seen.
Box donated $20.
Thank you, Tongue
As a
Punch.
Cowboys fan, we still have a high draft pick, so thanks for that. Also, so glad I picked up Gibson in fantasy. This team is a disgrace.
Yeah. Yeah, Mark, what is it? I can't figure this out. And you're right, Ryan, to bring this up. Are they really tanking for a high draft pick? Because it looked to me like Andy Dalton was legitimately trying to win this game, and they should have just called every pass play to Cooper on Darby the whole time, and they'd have scored like 35 touchdowns. It was madness to see him kind of pull this shenanigans out of his butt and sink the team. And look, Jerry Jones, Mark, didn't look like he was happy about it. At the end, you saw him. He was like this at the end. So I don't know.
Okay, Jerry Jones is also 95 years old and drinks Johnny Walker Blue. He just has an IV of some sort of high-end alcohol going into his veins at all times. So every time you cut to Jerry, I'm not going to expect to read his facial expression.
Pac-Man
But
Glenn
he's
donated $20.
he looks like
Hey guys, we really don't need to talk movie news. We need to talk about what kind of weed McCarthy was smoking yesterday. Thank God he did. Look, yesterday was a great Super Bowl win for the Washington football team. That's what I'm thankful for.
Yeah. Good point. Mark?
Thank you. I was just saying, like, Jerry is just like any other really old guy on Thanksgiving, where you can't really tell if they overate and that's why they're sleeping at 3 p.m. You can't really tell if they're going to make it to whatever family movie night is happening Thursday evening. You just don't know with Jerry at this point. So, I don't think that any coach or player thinks about tanking. I really don't, especially when your job is as precarious as Mike McCarthy's is right now. So maybe an owner thinks about it, maybe a GM thinks about it, but the product on the field, I think everybody's trying their heart out to win the game, and it just didn't go the Dallas football team way, and that makes me so happy. I'm going to be on cloud 9 for the next 3 days, and then I'll come back down to earth when the Eagles inevitably beat the Seahawks on Monday night.
Right.
Wishful.
Sorry, Sabrina. We're almost done. We're
almost done.
Like
no
30
worries.
seconds left.
No worries. While you guys watch that, I watched Happiest Season on Netflix.
I saw that as well.
On Hulu. It was so delightful. Kristen Stewart and Mackenzie Davis.
Okay. I haven't read good reviews on it, so you liked it.
I loved it. I didn't agree with like the story necessarily. Ryan, you saw it. Did you like it?
I loved it. I think
really?
It's Meet the Parents. You've seen a lot of it before, but it's done so well. Yeah, it's a delight.
Okay.
And you guys could go back now.
No, afterwards, because there was no night game, I caught a little bit of that jingle jangle and was digging that. I was digging Forrest Whitaker, man. The dancing, it's incredible. I look at all that stuff and you just think about how easy my job is. When it really comes down to it, these people are singing, they're dancing, they're classically trained, decades since they were little kids working on this stuff, and now they're finally in a Netflix movie. Me, I literally come up with fart jokes in the shower, and I tell them in front of a brick wall that night, and then I'm done with work. Like, it is insane that I work so much less than these people.
Yeah. Mark is watching the movie, and then Mark's tweet can sink or swim a movie. It's incredible. All these people work so hard, and Mark just goes #happiest season sucks, and it's all over. It's just all over. That's the power you wield while you're writing your fart jokes, my man. I respect it. I'm looking forward to it.
It's a strong word.
Shut up. Stop being self-deprecating. It's not easy to be as good as you are. I want to see it. I'm looking forward to it, but I was hesitant because some of the reviews hadn't been so positive about it. So I respect the fact that you two like it. So I will watch it. One of the things I'm doing on my channel, and I'm challenging myself to do this because I want to do more reviews, is to review one Christmas movie every day for 25 days up until Christmas. And so Happiest Season is one of the ones that was on the list. It was kind of iffy to be on the list, but now I'll put it on the list. So yeah, I'm going to try, Brett. I don't know. I'm going to fall apart probably, but I'm going to try. I got to challenge myself.
Now, are these new movies? Because I was going to ask you, what's the one holiday classic? It could be a new classic or an old classic that everybody watches that you have never seen before. Because for me, it was A Christmas Story until I saw it last week. And I was like, oh yeah, this is great. I see why people love this movie. I had never seen it before.
Wow.
Wait, Ellis, I thought you hadn't seen Elf either, right? Was that
that was like 5 years ago, and then I saw Elf, and I loved it. It's a great movie, but Bob Newhart is just next level great in it.
Yeah.
Really is.
You guys have a movie that everyone has seen that you haven't seen? It's a Christmas classic.
Miracle on
seen a lot
30th
of
Street
Christmas movies.
or 30 whatever street.
Miracle on 34th.
34th.
I think I've seen clips of it. That's another one where I've just seen it in montages so much that I think I've seen it, but I probably haven't seen it.
I like Ryan. Miracle on whatever street. I don't remember.
Look, if you've ever been to New York, you know Miracle on 43rd Street is a very different kind of miracle.
They're also using a fake name. All right, but Alex, what is yours? Alex, do you have one you haven't seen yet? A Christmas movie?
I haven't seen a lot of Christmas movies. I don't know why. Like don't really celebrate the season with holiday movies. So Christmas Story. I haven't seen. Miracle on whatever street.
What's wrong with your family, man? You don't do Thanksgiving.
Hey, no.
You don't do Christmas.
John,
Am I not allowed to say that?
No, because this is the same shit people try to do to me on Thanksgiving. Because all I want to do is I made a pizza yesterday. I sent Ryan a picture. I made a pizza yesterday from scratch. From scratch, I made a pizza, and I was just watching football by myself most of the day, and everybody acts like I'm like a sexual predator because they're like, "Well, what's wrong? Why aren't you going to somebody's house? Do we need to report Mark?" And it's like, I just don't want to see people. Yeah. I want to treat this like a Sunday. If I can't see my family, then I'm just gonna hang out by myself. I still honored the holiday, but in my own way. Alex, you are under no pressure to celebrate the season of giving anymore. You're still getting a $20 Starbucks card from me on December 27th or 8th.
That's nice. That's nice.
Mark never wanted to see people. This is a blessing to him. Yeah. He wants to be home.
Oh my God, Mark is loving COVID. He's never been more alive than he is right now.
I came to do some work there. He's like, let's wrap it up.
You've been around me too long.
I got some alone time to get to.
There's Van Halen albums to listen to. I've got a lot going on here.
Yeah, I have a very full, rich life by myself.
And for the record, I was just busting Alex's balls. So you could celebrate as you wish with your family.
Yeah. What if I just started crying about how lonely I am? Like I was
just in the middle of your rant, just start breaking down.
We just showed the pizza pic, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Danny took Molly this year.
That looks good.
It was,
and the guns in that pic too.
It was a good buy, and Molly's mom did help me with making the dough from scratch. It was a little doughy. It was a little doughy, but it was the toppings were great, and I think for a first time out, here's the thing. If I think that my niece, who's 6 years old, would eat it. So if I could just if I can make her happy with pizza, because it's not like she's Harloff and is going to judge every piece of pizza against New York pizza. She's just going to judge it against the Domino she had like last week. And so I think that I'm at least delivery quality here with my pizzas.
Yeah. I don't think I have a classic that I haven't seen, brother. I don't think I'm looking through the list because the last 3 years I finally saw Miracle on 34th Street, which I'd never seen before. I finally saw The Holiday, which I tried to avoid with all my strength.
It's great.
It actually was good. Yeah. And White Christmas. I finally saw it, like The Arrow in Santa Monica when they were doing it a couple of years ago. So I think I've checked all the boxes on Christmas classic movies. But I think there's a lot of modern.
I've never seen It's a Wonderful Life, but I've seen like every single one of the Hallmark films. So I know that's like, I know everybody's about to clown on me in the chat. It's fine.
I haven't seen
Sabrina,
I'll check it out.
You upset Dad.
Yeah.
I will send you a copy.
Out.
I will drive up to LA and leave it on your doorstep for your hairy boyfriend to pick up and give to you, for God's sakes. I swear to God, I have 3 copies of that movie. I just bought it in 4K. It's so great.
If you wanna come through, we have a lot of extra turkey, super moist, really great. I'll give that to you in exchange.
Like, put a bunch of money in the bank, Sabrina, and then go try to get that money out right away. That's It's a Wonderful Life. There you go. That's the lesson that it teaches you, is that money is not actually there.
Yeah, true.
You bought It's a Wonderful Life in 4K. Does every movie need to be in 4K? Like, did you need to see it clear? Was the moral of the movie not getting through to you, John? You've already seen the movie. Does it need to be in crystal clear? It was filmed in black and white, for God's sake. How clear can you possibly get it?
All I can tell you is I like pizza on Thanksgiving, and leave me alone. That's what I can tell you. That's what I can tell you. My 4K movies are my pizza on Thanksgiving. You leave me alone.
That's fair.
Anyway, so how was you? I mean, other than the pizza, what else did you besides football? Did you did you have Zooms? You texted me about Zooming with your family, and your tweet was hilarious. How you had your family interrupted each other less than most people do on podcast shows. It's very funny.
My family behaved themselves magnificently, and this is 3 kids between them. You got a bunch of animals running around, and then my mom was so happy to see everyone. She was really heartbroken because her favorite child couldn't make it home for Thanksgiving, and then she saw the other 2. And so we all just Zoomed together, and it was a lot of fun. And at the end, we did a family movie trivia where it was the contest for second favorite child. So it was between my brother and my sister for second favorite child.
Wow.
And they had to answer movie trivia questions about the history of the Ellis family. So like, what was the first movie that we all saw together as a family once we finally moved to Williamsburg, Virginia? The answer was Batman 1989. So just dumb trivia that I love playing games with my family. I love hosting trivia contests with my family. That's what we usually do on Thanksgiving. And then it turns into a musical hootenanny where all of my family are great musicians except for me. So I just MC the event, and then I sit back and watch the people with actual talent.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was fun. And then to honor John Rocha, we watched The Jazz Singer in 4K.
The original or the Neil Diamond version? Because don't crap on the Neil Diamond version. That one has Laurence Olivier as his dad.
It was great, man. We watched all of Mary Pickford's greatest hits. The director's cut.
I see what you're saying. Did you guys watch Bridge on the River Choir? Asking for a friend. All right.
My title made more sense because the bridge is technically over.
Bro, you made me hesitate for a second in my drunken stupor that you might be right. I was like, wait. Oh no, wait.
Oh man,
anyway.
It is good to see. It's good to see everyone in the chat. It's good to see everyone in good cheer, and it's fun hopping on this show from time to time with the 5 people that I really respect in this business, and this is just fun to kind of close it down. So if y'all got any more donations, you want to cut me off with a robot? I don't have any more beers. I drank all my beers, so I don't have any more beers to shotgun or chug today. Sorry about that. I'll make it up to y'all next time.
Sabrina has offered to chug, so please send in your Streamlabs Super. We got half an hour left in the show. Let's get them going. Send them in.
Sabrina, if memory serves, are you one of these wheat beer people? Are you one of these Blue Moon folk? No. You're like a Heineken Stella, right?
I was a Stella person. I'll drink any beer you put in front of my face. Like I have no preference when it comes to that kind of stuff. I usually go for Stella if I have a choice. Yeah.
What about stouts?
Yeah. I don't know anything about all of that. Like
really?
I just see the little label and I'm like, I'll probably drink it. What % alcohol is it? Sure.
I would love
That's
to
my
take
thing.
I would love to take Sabrina on a brewery
crawl.
Brewery crawl to see the different types of. We've done that before, by the way. We did it for a friend's birthday one time. We hired a car to take us from brewery to brewery on a Saturday for like 8 hours. I was fucking litzed by the end of the whole thing. So there's a great stuff to be had. Stouts are incredible. I like to drink stouts. I don't like to drink any of the other beers. So I'd like to see you kind of take a taste of some of that stuff.
We got to tour the Budweiser factory and on a choir trip in college, and we're not allowed to sample the fucking beer. All right, sorry. I just had to I've been holding that in. 1995.
I got a question for you guys. Is there a Christmas song that you absolutely fucking hate? Like when it comes on, you're just like, why do people like this song? What is it about this song? Why is this a Christmas song?
Yep. And I hate to admit this because I am such a big Beatles fan. The Paul McCartney Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time. Get the hell out of here. I don't even know what instrument they're playing. It sounds like a keyboard is dying a slow and painful death in that song. And the other one to look out for, I don't hate this song, but it just makes me laugh my ass off, is the Beach Boys song, The Christmas Comes This Time Each Year. The background singers sound so bored in it. Next time it comes on, listen to him, because the background singer's like, Christmas comes this time. So bored with it sounds like Alex's view towards Christmas is being sung as a background vocal.
That's great.
The worst one to me is Michael Bublé's Santa Baby, because it's gender swapped, and every time it comes on, I can't stand it.
Yeah.
There's no way.
I can't stand Bublé.
Plus, I'm into like the really sad Christmas. I love Sufjan Stevens' Christmas albums. I like the Bright Eyes one. She and Him for a not sad one. It's probably the happiest I get.
Oh God!
All the rapey ones are bad, right? Like Baby It's Cold Outside and Santa Baby, and I mean,
is Santa Baby a rapey one?
That's not rapey. I guess that's just very
more materialistic.
Yeah.
The Let It Snow is borderline creepy because Let It Snow, it's basically, it's not as bad as like Baby It's Cold Outside, but Let It Snow is, hey, I mean, we're here and it's snowing, so I guess you should probably stay because I locked the door from the outside. So hang out for a little bit. But my favorite Christmas tune is it, and maybe this is hacky, or maybe this is I'm just the pop radio aficionado.
Sure.
I love the Mariah Carey "All I Want for Christmas."
Yes,
it is effing magical.
100%. And About a Boy. I love to watch About a Boy. That's one of my favorite Christmas films.
Oh, is that a Christmas film? Interesting. I didn't think about that. Okay. All right. What?
Love Actually, that's another one.
That's
fabulous rom-com.
That's become problematic for a lot of people over the last few years. I've heard this and read this. The idea of Andrew Lincoln trying to steal his best friend's wife on Christmas and
fat shaming.
Fat shaming. Yeah, sure. How Emma Thompson gets totally cheated on and is somehow okay with it. And the other one, the Portuguese maid, and all. So there's some people who have issues with that version.
I didn't know that.
I like it, but yeah.
I like it. I prefer like The Night Before. That's something that's become watch. I think that's become like a little classic for me.
Oh yeah, that is such a it's a surprisingly honest film and sweet film wrapped into a Christmas message. Plus, Michael Shannon steals the shit out of that movie. My God.
That's a good one. I might put that one on for my brother because Molly and I are going on a road trip for Christmas. We're driving up to Seattle, just the two of us, and we're going to hang out with my brother and his family. So maybe after the kiddos go to bed, I'll put on The Night Before for them because that is a really, really funny movie.
Yeah, agreed. I don't like the song, The Shoes. What's The Shoes?
Christmas Shoes.
Oh, God.
Christmas Shoes?
By New Song.
Fuck you with that shit. You're trying to manipulate my shit. Like, I already gave at the church.
Have you seen the Rob Lowe film off of that song?
There's a film?
Yeah.
There's a Rob Lowe film.
Have you ever seen a 12-year-old at a Presbyterian church sing it?
No. No, I have not.
Sing it nasally. Mommy can't buy this show, but my mama That's the memory I have of it. Is going back home for Christmas and some poor 12-year-old having to see it. When mommy meets Jenna.
Going back to what Sabrina was saying about Christmas songs that inevitably make you sad. I always forget every year. And then I listen to the song and I'm reminded how sad it is I'll Be Home for Christmas. Because that's what I'm always thinking of. Because like I want to travel back to the East Coast and be around my family. I'll be home for Christmas. But then at the end, he's like, if only in my mind, it's like, oh my God, this guy's whole family like died in a fire or something. And he's just sitting there thinking about what the alternate universe of himself could have been. And it's like me on Thanksgiving. This poor fucker's just making himself a pizza and is by himself.
Yeah,
I was listening to it yesterday and I thought that same thing. It's really 2020 encapsulated.
Oh,
I always thought it was a convict waiting to get paroled in time for Christmas. That's I've always heard it that way.
Nice.
So I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
All right.
Sabrina, by the way, I think you'll like It's a Wonderful Life, Sabrina, because it's actually super fucking dark. I mean, he wants to kill himself. That's no lie. And so things are initially, it's very sweet, the movie, and then it takes this really dark turn and explores what it would actually be like if he did. And so and then what he learns from that experience. So it's not all sweet, hold hands and smile. There's really dark sections of the movie. So I think you might find that you like it more than you might think.
Yeah,
I'll check it out and then
update you. Yeah, I'll update you.
Sabrina, I know you love suicide movies.
No, she said she likes the more depressed Christmas songs. So I'm like, this works.
I do. It's fitting. So
knowing your obsession with suicide films, I'm gonna give you the top 10 list.
Oh, I should tell Matt Nostema. We should come up with that.
Hey, Sabrina, I know that I know you hate happiness, and I know it's about the Church of Satan, but Rocha, you watch that movie every year, I'm sure. Do you have a good Jimmy Stewart impression that you can give us?
Wait, hold on. On the spot? Hold on. No, you're thinking about it all wrong. Your money's not in Tom's house. It's in Julie's house. No, that's a loan. That's a loan. You pay us back when it's over. That's a loan.
Wow.
I realized it's actually a wonderful life. That's my impression.
Oh my gosh, I just realized something. Life is wonderful. Gee! That's mine.
Zuzu's pedals, Bert. Zuzu's pedals.
By the way, Rocha, how is Nosferatu in 4K?
Well, Sabrina won't like it because it's all sepia tone the whole time from the beginning to the end.
It drops at midnight, but A Trip to the Moon is
Santa's
4K.
covered donated $20. Hey, SEN crew. Hope your Thanksgiving was great. I'm not gonna clown on Sabrina's Christmas Hallmark movies, but it seems like Terry's a Christmas royalty universe sneaking around on TV and streaming. Check these titles out. A Princess for Christmas.
Okay. All right. Well, let me ask you a question. Because the Jingle Jangle, you mentioned that thing. A Christmas movie should not be 2 hours. It should never be 2 hours. 90 to about 105 minutes is okay, but not 2 hours. No, you lose me if you have a 2-hour Christmas movie. Wait, how long
Jingle Jangle is the drug in in Everdale, or what's the one with the Archie and the Archie and his
Riverdale.
Gang? Riverdale. Jingle Jangle is the drug they take.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which always
Santa's
I'm like, come
Brining
on,
covered
seriously?
donated $20. My Christmas Prince, Christmas Princess, a Christmas Prince, Christmas with a Prince for Christmas, a Christmas Princess, a Christmas Prince, the Royal Wedding, a Christmas Prince, the Royal Baby. All love from CDAC.guy over there.
Thank you. Is that the one, Vanessa Hudgens? Is that one?
Yes. The princess. I don't know. I don't know that one. Christmas
Ryan.
Princess. Princess like switched or something like that.
Yeah, right?
That's a night with a K before Christmas.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure.
What?
I did see that last year.
Wow.
Night.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oof. All right. Okay. Alex, do we have any more news?
Hallmark Schmobot Christmas.
Yeah, that's a good point. Send in your do you have a favorite Christmas song, favorite Christmas movie, or do you have a Christmas song or Christmas movie you hate? Send in those Streamlabs and Super Chats and Schmobots. We got about 17 minutes left in the show.
Man,
so
if we're doing the Christmas stuff now, we're really going to be stretched for material.
Listen here, Statler Waldorf. I'm doing the best I can here. There's not a lot of news post Thanksgiving.
I'm not blaming you. I'm having a blast with you. I think you're doing a great job. You're giving us impressions. You're giving us salty attitude towards the millennials. This is everything I want in a host.
I love the millennials. They're good people.
How funny was that? Even if you're just bipartisan and you don't care about politics at all, it's just so funny, that picture of Trump in the White
Oh my
in that desk.
Like, who looks at that and says this is the right photo op ever? Yeah.
This is
it was so funny. I just couldn't stop laughing.
Mark, it's how you know that everyone has left. Like everyone's left when he's just no one's telling him no, and he's just like, I'm. You know what? I've never sat at that desk. I'm gonna go to that desk and I'm gonna sit there. I'm gonna give a press conference. I'm totally gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it.
It looked like how I would decorate my first studio apartment. Like I put together one tiny desk from IKEA. And okay, it's the holidays. I'll put a Christmas tree here, and then I'm done. And then I don't need any other furniture. And it just looked so weird. And then the boom, like it looked like a YouTuber just bought their first mansion with their YouTube money and has no idea how to decorate it.
I haven't seen this yet. He's sitting at the kids' table.
Oh yeah,
He's sitting at the kids' table, basically.
Yes, he's at the kids' president's desk. Mark Hamill went after him, which was hilarious.
I'm the president. That's what he's saying.
He did say that to a reporter. He cut off one of these AP reporters. He goes, "You're a lightweight. You don't talk to the president like that. You're a lightweight. You don't talk to the president like that." It was just insane. And he's fully dressed, like the suit, the tie, the whole nine. I wanted Trump in his like sweatsuits, like it says "juicy" on his ass or something like that. Out there,
I'm what the kids are wearing these days.
Yeah, right. Trying to be hip. Gold chain.
Juicy.
He's got a Kango on. It's perfect. DJ
He's wearing
F.
a hyper-color T-shirt. You know what all the kids are into these days.
DJ F. Trump would be fantastic, or DG F. Trump. Coming in with a box of popcorn. He's got a pizza on Thanksgiving.
That's again, no judgment there. You do.
No judgment. Yeah, it's madness. Alex, do we have any more news items, or did we hit everything?
We hit everything, but we
can
go to
Streamlabs Super Chats. Yeah, let's do that because we got 15 minutes left. Shit.
All right. Yeah. All right. Sean Maroney says, I went on a date last week. My buddy was like, "Hey, did you score?" Score? I couldn't even find a place to park. I mean, the only time you can park in the city is if you're in a scooter. And if you're driving one of those, trust me, pal, you're not going on a date. I mean, yeah. Like,
Well done.
I don't even know what that means.
It's from my past.
Oh, okay.
It's not an actual joke that I wrote that I thought would be funny. For the record, it was when I was playing the bad open micer in Christian's Grasping at Straws pilot. We were filming, and the setup was I was on stage bombing, and so I had to come up with a really like hacky kind of LA joke, and so that's what I came up with on the spot, and it played very well as a bad open micer. Stretch for me, real stretch for me to get that method with my character.
Justice for men with scooters.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Fair point.
Vespa justice.
Leave them wherever you
All
want.
right, let's keep going, Alex. What else we got?
all right, the Dutch Stoner says, lost my shit during The Mandalorian. Dave Filoni is the way.
Yeah, I thoroughly agree. Yeah, Mark, did you see it? Do you watch the stuff? Do you enjoy it?
I am 3 episodes into Mando this season so far. Okay. So I might have started the 4th one. I don't know. I got really high the other night, and I think that because I remember seeing Katie Sackhoff, and I was like, hey, I met her, and then I fell asleep. She was great though, and so I'm not really sure where I am. I don't think I've started the Carl Weathers one yet, but maybe in the same one. All I know is that Baby Yoda ate eggs. And everybody lost their goddamn minds. The same people who probably had eggs for breakfast that morning. So
yeah, good point.
It's just, hey, this is what it is to talk Star Wars. You live and die by the social media sword, or you can just enjoy the movies you like and have confidence in your own opinion.
Yeah, I think that's a great point.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Alex, what else?
Tiffany F says, happy Friday, everybody. I'm still in a food coma from yesterday. There's only 4 of us, but we had 4 different mains and too many side dishes. Ooh. What's your favorite Thanksgiving food and least favorite?
Least
favorite is definitely stuffing. Least favorite, I could do without cranberry sauce or like green bean casserole.
Okay.
Ooh, Sabrina and I are pretty much on the same page. Yeah. I'm a very bland Thanksgiving diner. I'll do a lot of turkey. None of like the other just give me some white meat turkey and I'm fine. I don't really get into the mashed potatoes anymore. I'm just more of a like stuffing. Like I like the burn stuffing on the corner kind of stuffing. And then I don't really need any of that other crap. Like that's just for Instagram.
Here.
Wow.
All right. Yeah, I would say the green bean casserole. Echo that. I hate that. Don't like to never pick it up. I agree with stuffing. I do like the mashed potatoes, but a good mac and cheese with bacon sprinkled in, that's a great side dish for Thanksgiving, in my opinion.
My friend grew up in Florida. He makes cheesy corn grits. It's one of the most amazing things. Ooh. And he would have to make 2-3 batches because everybody wanted to take those. And naturally, the turkey that I cooked, and one of the best ones I ever did was in flavor injected one with like bourbon and spices in a deep fat fryer. Nice. But we had to stop that because the turkey costs less than the oil. But the deep fat fried turkey, oh, heaven!
Wow.
Yum.
What about you, Ryan? What did you not take from the spread you had yesterday?
Oh gosh, I feel like I'm revealing that I'm a picky eater because I'm never,
admit it.
I've never been like crazy on gravy. I'm weird like that. Like even if the turkey's dry, I'm not going for gravy. It's just not for me.
Wow,
so that's the big one I won't go for. But I love all potatoes. I like the diced potatoes you put in the oven, oven roasted. Gumbo mac, like you just said. Big fan of that as well.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I'm not a gravy boy either. Got to be honest. But I love. Shoot, I don't know.
Yeah.
We all
we don't
sound
really
like
do.
we're so tired of Thanksgiving food
Yeah.
that now we regret what we ate.
I know.
Like, man, that gravy. I'm never going into gravy again. That was a bad idea.
All right. What's our next one, Al?
All right, Johnny 5 for life says, shout out to Real Reject and SCHMOEDOWN friend Greg Alba and his lady on their engagement. For those who didn't see, he posted a video on YouTube of his proposal on Thanksgiving. Congratulations, Greg.
Way to go, Greggy.
Everything's happening for Greg, right?
He's working on a
Marky's
short
got
film.
Yes, we're going to short horror film. That's right. Shout out to Greg Alba, man. It's your time, son. All right. What's next?
Next is from Popcorn. All right, he's got a hypothetical here. Ellis, you find out Ryan is your son. What do you do? Haha. Sabrina, have you seen any of the Steve McQueen movies? What do you think?
If I found out Ryan is my son, first of all, I'm a very strict father as far as allowance goes. So he's still, I don't care how old he is or what his job is or what he's done for the community. He's getting $5 a week. Okay. And that's if he maintains one area around my apartment. I have some nice grass out back that Ryan's going to have to maintain. I'm going to instruct the gardeners who come by the apartment every week to not do any curating on that stretch, because that's where my son needs to learn some life lessons. And now on the flip side, Ryan, I would love to have you as my son because I never really wanted to raise a boy. But now that you are of driving age.
Daisy donated $20.
Thank you,
My
Jude.
favorite older Christmas movies are White Christmas and It's a Wonderful Life. Newer are Elf and Scrooged. Our family usually does gag gifts. This year we're doing movie trivia. Decorating my mom's my Christmas tree today. Thank you for all of you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What's your address?
Thank
I want
you.
to come and compete and win your family's title. So tell me what your address is. I'm going to come down there.
Hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm going to do. I'm going to make Ryan, for his first act as my son, I'm going to make him make Sabrina a Christmas movie. He's going to take White Christmas and he's going to alter it, and we're going to call it Sepia Christmas.
Not watching it, guys.
Basically
Not watching.
be
I
the
appreciate
plot
all
of-
the hard work going into it, but
Oh.
not happening.
It's basically the plot of Elf. I'm just gonna show up in your life, full grown, do landscaping for free, $5, and yeah, I'd be happy to be the son.
Make sure you bring him that 90. Make sure you bring him that 90. Best dad in the world. Make sure you bring him that 90. I love it. Steve McQueen movies. Have you seen him, Sabrina?
I haven't seen them. I'm actually waiting, and I'm gonna watch like all 3 of them together.
What? All 3 of them? There's more than
There's 5.
3
There's
Steve
5?
McQueen movies.
Just 5.
Oh my god!
James
in the
Dean
small
is
act.
Small
three.
Axe. I think he's talking about Small Axe.
Oh, Steve McQueen. Oh,
Yeah.
see, that's where we separate.
No,
that's where we
the
separate.
3. There's 3 of those, right? The
Yes.
3
Yeah,
small
yeah,
axe
yeah.
films.
5.
Oh,
No,
there's
there's
gonna be 5.
There's 5 total.
There's 3
yeah.
out.
There's
Yeah.
3 out.
Yes.
There's 3 feature length too. The other 2 I think are
That's a
just
lot.
like 50
I'm
minutes.
just going to shut up now.
I am
Mark-
gonna watch those.
Mark, I'm too old for the show. I'm just going to shut up. Steve
Yeah.
McQueen, I'm thinking, Bullet. I'm thinking The Getaway. She's over here thinking the director, and she's right.
Yeah.
That's what they were probably asking about. This,
That's the
yeah.
kid's Steve McQueen. The Steve McQueen 2.0 is who Sabrina was referring to. I like Steve McQueen, the old school. My John Caparulo, great comic, used to own a Mustang that was the Bullet Mustang. So it was
Oh, wow.
actually it wasn't the one used in the movie, but it was like
Nice.
like an actual total replica of the Bullet car. Pretty sweet.
Wow.
This has become Thanksgiving dinner now. The 6 of us here. Like, so the old guys talking about old shit, the young people talking about young shit. It's hilarious to me. All right, let's
It's
move
not as bad as the mom at the my kid's preschool that's held up some shoes and said, is anybody missing these Steve McQueen shoes? And they were Lightning McQueen.
That's awesome. All right, what do we got next?
Oh,
Alex?
it's so good.
All right,
I'd F with some Steve McQueen.
You F's with some Steve McQueen. What do we got, Alex?
Dawn of the Dill says, "Hey crew, can't watch live, but had to weigh in on this green bean casserole thing.
Oh.
My family, white, also always has mac and cheese and a casserole on deck every year. However, we do broccoli casserole because it is the superior, cheesier casserole. I rest my case." Sounds delicious.
I just anything that has the word casserole in it, I stay away from because it's a little more ingredients than I am comfortable with. So I don't know what all goes into a casserole, but if you say green beans, I'll eat your green beans. They're steamed, they're grilled, whatever. But then you put the word casserole in there, and I'm like, oh God, there's going to be some sort of weird gooey substance that, like mayonnaise. They're going to put some tuna seafood bullshit in it. Like casserole, there's too much room for error. I don't trust the margins when it comes to casserole.
Dude, tuna fish casserole?
Yeah.
Oh. With peas and the crumbles on top.
Oh, sounds delicious.
Made that for my kids once and then had to eat the whole thing myself.
Where is everyone? Is everyone in LA or are any of y'all out of town?
Nope, I'm in San Diego.
Philly.
Ryan's in Philly.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ryan's in Philly. Your son's in Philly.
All right. Hey, son, you send me one of them cheesesteaks that you kids keep talking about.
You got it.
When you watched Force Awakens and you watched the first when that guy came up with Kanja Club, did you feel a weird tingle in your spine, Ryan? Like you might know that person from another life? Or
Is that him? Is that?
You should hear Christian and we were sitting right next to each other at the premiere of Force Awakens. We had totally different experiences when that scene came up because according to I don't remember really anything. I just saw the scene. I was like, okay, I'm locked in. This is fun. Han Solo's back. The way Christian remembers it is like there was a ripple in our entire row of people thinking it was me. And like, I don't have any, I think he hit me on the leg. And I hate when anybody tries to talk to me during a movie, especially this movie. And so I'm just like, what? Shut the fuck. I'm watching the movie. And I just had no idea that people thought that looked like me until well after the film.
Is in that new show Gangs of London that's on AMC premiere right now. So I've been hanging out with you outside of you as well for 8 episodes. It's been fun.
Good for me. I mean, I got a lot of work to do to support my son, my ne'er-do-well son with his
Fly him
with
home.
his YouTube.
Go
out and get a real job.
He's wasting his money on Etsy sweatshirts. Look at him. He's wasting on these over. Look at these things. Look at that.
It was a gift.
It's a size double XL. He's like a kid.
It was
small.
Etsy. It was Etsy. It was.
Arizona Jeans Company, $5. JCPenney, get on it.
Ryan, what's this I hear about you quitting football?
Too much contact and more of a announcer.
Your mother
dad.
and I, we didn't pay for the gym every week. Your mother and I. All right, what's the next? We have any more, Alex?
Yeah, we got a few more left. Pac-Man Dwayne says, okay, I have a fun one battle of new traditional Christmas movies.
Okay.
Lethal Weapon versus Die Hard. I'm not going to lie, I can't choose. I watch both.
Not a tough fight for me.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like Die Hard's a choice, right?
Lethal Weapon's great, but Die Hard is the GOAT.
It is. Agreed.
Even
Are you gonna see Fat Man?
I do wonder about Hans Gruber's plan, though. I was thinking about this because, like, why did you have to do it during the Christmas party? You didn't really need anybody there. I know you had hostages, and that was your plan for the FBI turning off the power. Couldn't you, instead of, murdering people, just have infiltrated the power grid? Like, couldn't you have just shut the power grid off and had your computer hacker positioned on another day when because everybody was taking work off the rest of the week, obviously. So how about you just sidle in there on December 26th or 7th when the building's going to be empty, and then you can rob the vault? I just didn't understand why you needed to do it with hostages, because then you're risking somebody like a John McClane getting out and making things tough for you.
Mark, I think it was to make the movie interesting.
That's right. I totally forgot.
You know me, I don't know much about films. But
you know what? That would be a typical modern day millennial terrorist attack. Would be them documenting every step, like having a film crew come in and document them stealing.
Hashtag robbing them.
That is a funny idea. Like
Yeah,
it's
it's
Die
day
Hard,
in the
except it's
life.
like The Office. So like you have like Hans Gruber. And everybody just takes turns being interviewed. And it's just like, well, I'm gonna go up there. I'm gonna put on an accent. I'm gonna be Bill Clay. Watch this. That'd be great.
So I'm heading up the stairs now. I think McClane is right around the corner. We're gonna find out in just a second. Let's take a look.
Looks at camera.
Oh, yeah, right. Looks at camera. Oh, hey, I'm Bill Clay. Bill Clay. Ridiculous like that. All right, let's go. We're past noon. Let's go. I got the thing at 12:30.
Spinning Art says, what do you guys think of Van Morrison and Eric Clapton just releasing an anti-lockdown song? Just read up on Eric Clapton and didn't know he had such a problematic racist past.
Ooh.
Really? Eric Clapton? I didn't know
Apparently.
about that. Well, Sheryl Crow didn't seem to mind when she was dating him for a while.
Wow.
You always got to be very careful when you hang your hat, even if you agree with people who are celebrities. If you agree with their politics, you got to be very careful about who you put your faith in from a morality standpoint, because you just never really know anybody. And Van Morrison has a very different outlook on this than I do, because I've read on.
Hey, Ellis,
Thank you.
better question. Why didn't Hans tell us about the power grid so that I could stop freaking out about the magnetic lock?
It's a good question. These
Fair
are all
point.
very, very good questions. So just be careful who you listen to in Hollywood. Okay.
Agreed.
And anywhere for that matter.
Also, if you're listening to crusty old white men, really, it's not the place to be. Either, like, just don't listen to old people a lot. That's my point of view on it. Keep going,
And
Alex.
here's a smoking hot take for you, because sorry, I know Rocha has his mid-noon constitutional in 28 minutes, but I am not a fan of Van Morrison anyway. And Brown Eyed Girl, I think, is the most overrated song in the history of music. Cannot stand it.
Into the Mystic is lovely, but now I don't like when people do things when I like them and they do bad things.
Haven't heard the song, so I haven't.
Oh, listen, Astro Weeks and Moondance are the two albums you need to listen to.
Moondance, yeah.
If after you listen to Astro Weeks and Moondance, you don't like Van Morrison, you've basically heard the best of Van Morrison. So, all right, that's fair. I can respect that. But Brown Eyed Girl is like Love Me Two Times from the Doors. It's just the overplayed hit of theirs, but it doesn't speak to the artistry of that artist, for God's sake, or those artists. But, you know.
I look like Tupelo honey. That is my answer to that question.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you bashing Tupelo honey?
No, I like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Okay. I was going to say pound cake. I was going to come back at you, pound cake. I was ready. All right. The worst song ever. All right. Keep going, Marks.
All right, next one from Yaddle. An underrated Christmas movie is Arthur Christmas. One of the worst Christmas movies is Reindeer Games, which was the movie so bad that Vin Diesel quit because of script problems.
Wow.
All right, next one from Bella. John and Mark, does it bother either of you that people call you by last names because there's so many other Marks and Johns in your space, or is it just not a big deal? I thought Mark's name was Ellis for a very long time, LOL. Hi, Alex.
I could not care less. Either Mark or Ellis is fine with me. When I was a kid in Little League, in third grade, I was playing Little League, and we were getting our jerseys done. And so everybody had to write down their first name to get their jersey made. And I was like, why am I writing down my first name to put on the back of the jersey? And all the other kids just did it like sheep. And I'm like, do y'all not watch sports? Your last name goes on the back of your jersey. So everybody else on my team was like Mike or Bill or Bob or whatever. And I was Ellis because I want to be, a professional looking athlete. And so everybody started calling me Ellis. And that's kind of where, at least in my recollection, that's where it started, where it was either Mark or Ellis.
I think you've got a strong last name if they call you by your last name first instead of your first name. And I changed my name at 9 years old, so that's not even my original name. So I like Rocha. I'm cool with Rocha.
What was your original? Was it Steve McQueen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Esteban McQueen. That's what it was.
I always felt like somebody was getting ready to make fun of me, or no, they were when they used my last name. Fucking Sheridan.
Sure.
Then it was that, because they would, or this Brett guy or something.
I feel like
that.
it does feel very gender specific to the male species.
Oh yeah.
It's like Sabrina, I don't know that women refer to each other by their last names, or am I just being closed-minded about this?
Well, my last name is more common than my first name. So I feel like that's kind of like the opposite with mine. But yeah, no, I never go to my friend and go, hey, vertebra. He'd be like, no, what's up, E?
It's a good point. Yeah. I don't know if I've ever called anyone by their last name. Yeah.
In my fraternity, like, I went by Marzoña just because there were so many Alexes. So it was just kind of out of, not necessity in a way, but just convenience, I guess.
Fraternity?
Yeah.
Fraternity?
Big frat guy.
Fraternity, yeah.
Big frat guy, Alex Marzoña. Huh? There's this whole past Alex, isn't there?
Have you
What are
ever-
talking about, Rocha?
Upside down
frat guy.
kegging.
The song is about.
Yeah. Upside down kegs, one-nighters. I get it, Alex. I get it. All right. All right.
No,
Go
they
ahead.
did
Every
group
time.
meditations, and they fed the homeless. It was
Yeah,
different.
right.
He was
That ain't
in
no
a-
frat.
Yeah, he was in like, it was like, yeah.
That's a glee club. That ain't no frat. All right. Go ahead. Yeah.
Whole persona that Marzoña puts on now, it's very different than when all you fans out there, when you interact with them in person. I went over to Alex's apartment complex not 3 weeks ago, and as soon as I walk in, frat boy Alex comes out. He's like, hey, what's up? You want a beer, pussy? And I was like, Alex, it's noon. What's going on here? And then he made me
Scratching
get a
his ass.
tattoo before I left.
He slapped you. Put that earring on. All right.
Oh god. Okay. Last super chats. Peaceful Dude 85 says, "Can I come?" JK. I think he was referring to.
What was he referring
I
to?
don't know.
I don't know.
Oh,
Drugs?
I don't know.
the
Oh, brewery call.
crawl.
Yeah.
Oh
brewery
yes.
crawl.
Screw.
Come on
Yes.
on, Peaceful. We'll do it.
Sign me up.
Crawl.
Let's get
All
drunk.
right. And then last one for the day. Haskell 420. Hello, Haskell 420.
What's up,
says,
Haskell?
Now confirmed. Ravens versus Steelers game moved to Tuesday night. Who wins the match? Peyton Manning and Steph Curry versus Phil
Train
Mickelson
donated
and Charles Barkley.
$20.
That's
The
on
All
you.
I Want for Christmas song from Mariah Carey is the worst Christmas song of all time.
Oh,
The best Christmas song is Holy Night by Josh Groban. Josh Groban puts Mariah Carey Christmas song to shame. Also,
Kill the
Babu
screen.
Frick sucks. There's my rants for today.
Oh,
Kill the
man.
stream. That's it. Play us out.
You got to
Play us
show. Who was this guy? You got to show me on the doll where you got hurt as a child. This is ridiculous. But you take
overboard.
Josh Groban.
Now, I will.
You lift me up.
I'll defend that statement insofar as if you had to put a soundtrack to my Thanksgiving yesterday where I'm eating pizza by myself, it's more of a Josh Groban Holy
More-
Night
it was a-
situation than it is Mariah Carey Christmas. But that's just because I'm conserving mental energy for all of the outgoing that I'm going to have to be doing during the actual holiday season, which I guess starts today. So Josh Groban was the soundtrack for me yesterday. But then as soon as the fake punt happened, then it was Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas from then on forward. And it was just a beautiful Thanksgiving. So I hope
the
everybody
edit.
out there
Yeah.
enjoys your turkey day. And I hope everybody buys a lot of cheap stuff today for Black Friday, for you, for your family, for your friends, whoever, whether you call them by your first or last name. And thanks for having me on the show again, team.
Thank you, Mark. Is that everything? Are we done,
That's all.
Alex?
That's
All
all for
right.
today.
That's it. Thanks, everybody, for joining us on this special post-Thanksgiving episode of SCN Live. Can't thank you enough for taking the time to let us entertain you. Hope we brought some smiles to your face, maybe distract you from some of the madness that's going on in the world, brought some entertainment into your life. We certainly hope so. So thank you for giving us the opportunity. Thanks for your Streamlabs, Stupid Shots, and your Schmobots. You know that's what makes the world go round. Thank you to Sabrina Ramirez. Thank you to Brett Sheridan. Thank you to Alex Marzoña. Thank you to Ryan Nilsen. And thank you so much to Mark Ellis for stopping in and hanging out with us. The Dog Father, he is the best. Go and get his album on Amazon Prime. Go and watch all the shows he's on and all the shows everybody's doing on this panel, including mine if you don't mind. We got so much going on here on SEN as well. Don't forget, fill your weekends with the shows that are on SEN as well. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Practice social distancing. Wear your mask. And come back and join us on Monday morning at 10 a.m. PT for another episode of SEN Live. Much love.